Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching in the world. My name is Sean Driver. This is the Red Horde, and we're back to it, the Who Are You series. It seems like it's been a while with the cup games, the trophy games, and all the other madness that's been going on, but the 17th time we're doing it, it's winding down to the end. So we've got Gillingham, the Gills, up next on Saturday. So the question is, Gillingham, let's get into it. Gillingham FC, the Gills, or is it the Gills? I don't know. Location, Gillingham, Kent in England. Population, 108,785. Stadium, Priestfield Stadium. Capacity, 11,582. They've got an average attendance this year of 6,329. That's good for 11th. So far this season. Opened in 1893 in its location. Take a spin through Google Earth. It's located 233 miles away from the racecourse. I'll have to go through. I think that is the furthest away. 375 kilometers. And I guess we're not going there. They're coming to us. For the Gillingham fans, if you're coming to Wrexham, that's a 4-hour and 35-minute trip. So turnover, 5,554,449 quid. That's from Company's House. And let's jump into it. Gillingham, what's your history? Formed in 1893 and originally called New Brompton FC. And I went, New Brompton? Well, what was Old Brompton? And I'm not entirely sure. Surely it couldn't have been Brompton Village town, a little village of about like 2,000 in North Yorkshire. But I do know that there was a North Brompton station that was along in that area in Kent. I guess it doesn't really matter, but I don't know. New Brompton. Anyways, they changed their name, joined the EFL Division 3 in the inaugural 1920-21 season, where all the teams in the Southern League Division 1, which is where they were, ended up joining into the EFL, and they all got placed into the third division. Maybe fortunate for them in the sense that the following year they decided to add another division and went with third division North, third division South, and Gillingham, even though they would have been relegated, finishing at the bottom of the table the year prior, weren't. And so they joined Division 3 South. They lived in the 3rd Division South until relegated in 1937-38, and then they dropped down into the Southern League, where they stayed and mired in obscurity, and we know that feeling well, until they found a return back to Division 3 South in 1950-51. They stayed there, and then in 1957-58, they transitioned from the 3rd Division South into the 4th Division. Just by way of background, and if you don't recall, the top 12 teams were propped up into the 3rd division, no more geographical restriction. The bottom clubs were spread out into the new 4th division, and they had a 22nd place finish the year before, so quite squarely into Division 4. They were down there, promotion to the 3rd division, 63-64, down and then back up in the early 70s, down to the 4th division in 1988-89, and then up to the 3rd tier, 95-96, and then they hit their high water mark starting in 2000-2001 when they were up into the 2nd tier, as it was known, the 2nd division. Their highest position ever in the 2nd division, equivalent to the championship, was 11th in 2002-2003. Then they had relegation, 2004-2005, again in 2007-2008, back up, then down, then up, and they had 8 years in League One until they were relegated in 2021-2022. Talking about the kit, and I guess I've been called the Kit Man by one of the viewers for the watch party, and hey, there's a reminder, let's hit the pause. Watch party, Saturday, Gillingham, be there. I'll be there doing the whole thing. Also at 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern. I believe that's 1 o'clock in the morning in the UK and about noon-ish, at least noon in Sydney. Going to be adding a couple of bearded fellows from Australia. Two Beards Media, Two Beards, a podcast in Wrexham AFC. Adrian and Rousey going to join me to have the live podcast, The Hot Stove. We're just going to chat. You guys can join the chat. Communicate, send your messages, your questions. We'll answer them. No holds barred, I guess. Maybe I should watch my P's and Q's. I don't know. It'll be an interesting one, so make sure you join for that. Anyways, the kit. I am a big fan of the kit. I'm not going to lie. I like it when there is a history, when it's followed, when it meets with the brand. And look, their history was black and white stripes, and then they went to blue in the 1930s, and guess what? Their jerseys still match. This year, their home jersey is blue with white shoulders from Macron for their home, black with white horizontals for their away, and then they've got this really cool, funky, unique pink with design on it for their third. Macaron gave them the goods. Beauville. The way Gillingham's pronounced, maybe it's not even a B, maybe it's a Pawville with a P, I don't know. A construction company in Kent that serves as their sponsor. Bookie odds, I know I'm going to get grief for the J sound. I don't know the history of it and the phonetics of it. It just seems weird to me. Anyway, what do I know? I'm just a stupid North American, at least when it comes to place names in England. Bookie odds had them fourth, and not really performing there as of yet. Well, I guess they started there. Performance, and before we get into their League 2 stuff, just to look at their trophy and cup competitions. By way of example, you look at their last game against Newport County, a 2-0 defeat at home. They dominated possession. They dominated in shots taken, having 17, but only 3 of those were on target. They had 404 passes, 74% accuracy, but Newport had a higher expected goals due to having more shots on target and a couple more big chances. So, the expected goals say that the loss was deserved, but certainly on all facets other than the big chances, they dominated the game. And as I go through the stats, it's an interesting team, Gillingham. Their strength is in their midfield, and it's been a long time since we've had a team that's where their strength was, and we'll identify that. A little bit suspect in the backs. They've only got one man forward, and he's not really producing. 3 goals so far on the year, and then their goalkeeping is solid, if not spectacular. But the second 2 games ago, they had a 1-0 win away to Swindon Town. In that game, played poorly, only 29% possession. They were behind in total shots, behind on shots on target. They were thumped in passes, a total of 517 passes for Swindon Town to 156. But they managed to pull out a 1-0 win. Play like crap, win. Play good, lose. It follows a theme, because 2-1 loss at home to Notts County. That one, I guess, more on target. 33% possession. That's sort of standard for how Notts plays. 2 shots of 13 on target. More big chances, but only 240 passes for Gillingham against the 583 from Notts. Expected goals actually favored them in the result, but they lost. So it's an interesting statistical anomaly, I would suggest. I guess that's why you play the games. They then had a 4-1 battering received by Walsall in Walsall. Again, the complete opposite here. They controlled the game, 68% possession, 5 of 14 shots on target. Yes, they were behind in big chances, but they were way up in passes on this one. 459 passes for Gillingham to 181 from Walsall. The stats say that they actually deserve the win on expected goals, but instead they got dumped on. 4-1. Eek. Then their game before that, 2-1 home win against MK Dons, going up early, holding on. Appears to be a deserved result, but the inverse outcome again with the statistics happened. They were behind in possession, behind in total shots, behind in shots on target, behind in accurate passes. And what does that mean? Gillingham's record for success is play like garbage. Looking at the stats for the season, comparing Wrexham to Gillingham, then shots on target were far away in first in League 2, and then you've got them at 60 shots compared to our 98, sitting in 19th. Goals per shots on target, we've got a better percentage, top 3rd anyway, sitting at 10th. We're their second worst in the league, 22%, and that goes to their formation. Mind you, they've got a new manager, so going to change things up potentially. Who knows, which makes it fun to predict things, but they've got some weapons, and we'll see what ends up happening up front. Possession, similar, 48.5% for 14th. They've had 47.8% at 17th. Accurate passes, we're ahead with about 40 extra passes per game on average. On their accurate crosses, we're ahead again, top in the league, 6.9 to their 5.0. You'll see in the backs, I think that this is a game that we'd be better on the ground than by dumping the ball in through aerial attacks, but we'll see where that's at. And then the accurate long balls, we're again slightly ahead with essentially 1 more long ball per match than they have. Wrexham AFC archive.co.uk, flagging that one again, because if you want to get the history of the clubs, the relationship, the records, how they've played, the connections between the teams, that's your source to go through, so check them out. We have to go all the way back to May 6, 2000. For a Wrexham win at the racecourse in League 2. We finished 11th that season. Gillingham promoted via the playoffs. Connections to Wrexham. Tom O'Connor had a 2-year-long loan spell there, 2019-2021, when he was there on loan from Southampton. He had 1 goal in 62 games for the Gills. No connections to Wrexham that I could find coming our way. The closest connection I could have, and obviously there's been lots of interviews with him, Johnny Williams, who had 33 caps for Wales. He's now retired from international play, focusing on the league competitions, the domestic competitions. But obviously a man with some history, and excited to get another shot to run out the tunnel at the racecourse, this time with Gillingham blue and white, black and white they'll be wearing. Neil Harris is out. He had a 486 game career as a striker, largely with Millwall. He's their all-time leading scorer. He did have 36 games with Gillingham as a player. He was then frequently a caretaker. He started out with Millwall, helped them out, built them up, took them to the championship with a win over Bradford City in the playoff final, and then had some success in an FA Cup run where they wiped out Bournemouth, Watford, and defending Premier League Leicester City. Then he resigned October 2019, moved on to Cardiff City, get sacked from there, and then joined Gillingham before being sacked just a couple of weeks ago. His replacement, Stephen Clements, 250 appearances in the Premier League as a midfielder. Then on retirement, he joined Sunderland, and basically he followed Steve Bruce around. He went from Aston Villa, Sheffield Wednesday, Newcastle United, West Brom, all in that assistant manager sort of role. This is his first managerial role, and Wrexham will be his maiden game in league competition as a manager. Looking at the forwards then and jumping through the line, Macaulay Bon, I'm afraid to pronounce everything Gillingham because it just all seems wrong to me. Anyways, Macaulay Bon, he's a Judd striker, good, but not necessarily a really Judd one. 3 goals, you take a look at his numbers, comparable actually to Paul Mullen as far as shots taken in a game, shots on target in a game, shots off target, almost bang on. The only difference seems to be with respect to the shot conversion rate. He's just not converting at the rate that you may want him to or expect him to. Leading goal scorer with 3 goals. Not really a lot. So hopefully that ends up being statistically what appears is a striker that's got some struggles, but maybe he finds some mojo with the new guy. Looking at the midfielders, and this was fascinating, with the lineup that they had, they ended up essentially having 5 people playing in the midfield, 3 in an offensive role, 2 sort of in a defensive role. Going to go over the defensive stats, trying to figure out and delineate who was who, and Ethan Coleman, I have not seen stats like this from a midfielder in all 17 that I've done. These are scary numbers. He's 23 years old, 1,105 minutes, and if you bring up those stats, those defensive stats are nuts. Defensive ground duels won 98% on the ground. Aerial duels won 95th percentile, which in the midfield is shockingly rare and impressive. He's there with the clearances, 83, which means he's going back to help out. The only thing that might be a little bit weak is he doesn't intercept a lot of ball, but I'll tell you, that's the sign of a lot of control for a 23-year-old. Impressive is all I can say. And he's flanked as far as in a defensive role in their midfield with Dominic Jeffries, 21, 893 minutes. Again, too young again to have a lot of stats for him off of footy stats, so I ended up having to go to FOTMob, and he's solid, not nearly as impressive as Ethan Coleman was, but 73rd percentile in tackles won, 74th percentile in the air, 73rd in interceptions. Their midfield is so strong with the offensive and defensive stats that our midfielders better be on the ball, ready to nick some possession and able to put some pressure on it. I think this game is going to be won or lost by who's able to sort of quarterback and control that midfield, and we'll see how that breaks down. In an offensive role, you've got Connor Mahoney, 26. He's had 1,039 minutes, and take a look at his service numbers as far as he's there with some shots, so he's pitching up and lending some assistance up front to Bon. His shot conversion rate not nearly as high, but he's up there as far as contributing numbers offensively. As far as others, Johnny Williams, 3,747 minutes. I expect him to get a start. Welshman, a veteran in Wales. Take a look at the picture here, though, and tell me, here's another promotion of the podcast that's coming up. Does this not look like Adrian from two beards and a podcast. I mean, if I was a Halloween costume, Adrian, I'd be slapping on blue and white. No, I wouldn't. That's blasphemous. But if there was ever an acting role in a documentary or otherwise for a Gillingham player, I think you could go no further than Adrian. Ignore the accent issues. But Johnny there, mostly for service reasons. He's got crosses, 67th percentile. Successful crosses, a little bit better at 73rd percentile. They're largely for key passes, though, 79 of them over the course of the year, 1.35 per game. The defenders, 4 in the back, left back, what you'd anticipate the left back and the right back to have higher interception numbers as well as potential higher ground duels. They don't necessarily show that, but their center backs, you want them to have higher aerial stats, and that's where they've got some strength. So a little bit weak on the wings, which I'm hoping that our right back and left back, whoever ends up playing, and we don't have McLean, are going to be able to be there to punch forward and take these guys on and put on some pressure, because I do think, even though the aerials aren't the way in, that there's some weaknesses on the side to push forward. Because you look at his ground duels, 47th percentile. His aerial duels, he's not going to get a lot, but 66th percentile. I think he's the guy that if you can get ball in, you're in a good place. The passing might be a little bit hard to get to, though. His interception's 89th overall. Within the center backs, then, you've got Shadrach Ogie, 22-year-old, relying on the young guys. Gillingham is 1,305 minutes. He's been playing as a center back. Not, again, because of his age, a lot of numbers on footy stats, so had to jump into FOTMOB again. 76th percentile on duels won, but 90th percentile in aerials won. He's not gaudy numbers, not what you've seen from a lot of the center backs, but those are some impressive stats, and he seems more than capable at 22 years of age and certainly learning the craft. Next to him on his shoulder, Che Alexander, who's listed as a center back, but playing on the right most of the times, as far as it appears to me. And when you look at his numbers, you can see why. Aerial duels won, that's low, 38th percentile. Ground duels, 21st percentile. So again, this is a key position for our left back. I'm hoping whoever it is filling in for McLean Mann, it'd be nice to have him now that I see these stats, but going to have an opportunity, I think, with Mr. Alexander on that side. Connor Masterson, listed as a right back, but playing mostly in a center back role, and you see why with his numbers. Aerial duels won, 93rd percentile, and so he, and his ground duels only in the 29th percentile. He seems to be your prototypical center back. And just as an example, I said not performing quite as well as we are, and you look at Scott Malone and especially Shadrach Ogie with his numbers being in the 73rd percentile. You look at Ewan O'Connell, we haven't had a consistent center back really back there, but he's got 97th percentile in the aerial duels won, 78th in the ground, and I think that's a little bit more to par. So defensively, they may have some issues. They're strong in goal, strong in the midfield. A little bit weaker, I would suggest, with their back line and up forward. Their goalkeeper, Jake Turner, 24. He was signed from Newcastle United. Save percentage so far this year, 73.5%. And I know as a team, Wrexham stats are like 22nd, I think they've moved up to, maybe 20th. So far they've moved up to in their save percentage as a team. But Mr. Ogonkwo at 22, 81.3% save percentage. It's awesome. He's killing it back there. And so now the fun time when we end up comparing who Gillingham would be if you're going to compare them to a professional sports team in the world, in North America anyway. And so as to the food, let's go with a Jost pepper. Yeah, based on their season so far, a Jost pepper. Something that's spicy and you're excited about and you're tasty. You really want to get into it and try it, and then over time it just kind of all goes south, and you get that gut rot. You end up living in the bathroom, and that so far is the direction that Gillingham's season has gone, and why they fired their manager. Was hot at the start, and then just a lot of pain to follow. So hopefully that stays true, and I don't jinx it by saying it's gone to the shitter. But we'll see what ends up happening with the game. As far as a pro sports team, let's go with the Green Bay Packers, maybe the Jolden State Warriors, just because of the name. I have no other reason. That's it. So anyway, that's the Who's Who Are You series. Excited for Gillingham. I'm going to call a score here. I've been seeing a lot of people making 3-1 scores. I think that based on their offensive struggles and what happens in the midfield, it's going to be a hard one to get. We're going to have to wear them down. I can see a 0-0 game into the 70th, 75th minute, but I think we'll take it away 2-0. And that's my prediction. The watch party. starts 30 minutes before. This video will run right before it, and if you're watching it for the first time there, how are you? Thanks for staying. If you haven't been to the watch party, we have a lot of fun. We're getting about 200 to 300 concurrent viewers at the same time. We're getting 2,000-3,000 views, so people are in and out. The messages are flowing. We're having a good chat and lots of humor, lots of fun. Poutine Philly cheesesteaks. That's what I want at the race course. And that's just an inside joke to the watch party. So come and join us. 40 countries so far have joined. We only have 22 states to cover off, and then we've hit all of the US states, and we have 3 provinces and 2 territories in Canada. So we're rolling, covering the globe. Wrexham is worldwide. Massive. Watch party there. If you like this content, subscribe. We're getting close to 1,000 subscribers. I should have mentioned this earlier in the thing. We really are, and I'm hoping that this video can kind of push us close enough that we're within shooting range that we could have a good day with the watch party, and see if we can get there hopefully this weekend. But if not, it's coming, which is exciting times. So join for the watch party, and then at 5 p.m. if you're out in the UK and you're out on a Saturday night at 1, join with a couple of wobbly pops, and it won't bother me or the Australians, I'm sure, as we do 2 Aussies and a Canuck walk into the bar, and I guess talk about Wrexham. So join us for that. The women's match, I think we're going to do. Follow along. You'll see the live pop up with the thumbnail. That's all. That's it. Thanks for being here for this one. We'll see you later. Take care. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are watching in the world. Sean Driver, the watch party. We're back, and yeah, Remembrance Day, so started this one a little bit earlier. Armistice Day, Veterans Day, Anzac Day, whatever it is in your part of the world. Hope you have an opportunity to take a moment. Wanted to start this because I believe that there's going to be a flyover, and wanted to be able to go silent and give the moment its proper due. So started everything early. The lineup, and I saw the question, I think it was Jurgis had asked, more precisely, Wrexham more defensively loaded. What's the strategy with this? Going through the stats, Gillingham is stacked in the midfield, and they've been performing exceptionally well. No offense. I mean, they've got the lowest goals per 90 minutes in League Two. So I think what you're doing is you're trying to draw on offense from the back, and I think that's what Hayden and Tozer offer, both via throw and via Hayden's capacity. So O'Connor there, I don't see them being a threat. I think that the team that's going to win this one is going to be able to control the midfield, and that's going to be Coleman and how we deal with him. So putting Evans in the midfield with Jones to try and take care and address Coleman and his strengths. I mean, it's another Parky's smarter than everybody else sort of moment, I think. We will see how it all pans out. What's a thought on my new merch? I don't know. I'm going to sound selfish here, I guess, or maybe the merch prices. If you're not aware of the merch price situation, a new line was come out. It was identified as to being an elite line in the advertising, and it's expensive. It is. Some people will pay for it, and some people won't. And they do have options that are available that are more affordable. In fact, I was looking at some of their jumpers and jackets that prior to the release and thought, man, those are really cheap. Nice price on those. Sizing issues, you'd like to see a little bit more production and quantity. But when you have a supply issue, I guess it gives you the liberty to increase it. And I don't think that they were pushing it out to most. So we'll see what ends up happening. Mr. Griffiths is in my ear, and it's a beautiful Saturday morning. I will caution, I have the little one joined us in bed until we get into the other place. This is a bedroom studio, and so I expect to get the early morning growl as it happens. I don't want to take away too much from the Remembrance Day ceremonies. If you're able to watch them, feel free to do that. I'm going to certainly, when there's a moment of silence, take that pause. So I don't know what your guys' thoughts are. 28 people already. Oh, the other thing, the obvious thing, if you're new here, it has been changed. Oh, and I actually don't think I did change it this time. Yeah, that was a mistake on my part if I didn't. But the intention is that this is, that the chat is supposed to be subscriber only, and I believe I have to change it every time, which is a little bit unfortunate. And the reason for that was because we've had some people get a little bit excitable coming in and making comment. And so we wanted to control that a little bit. And so we've come up with some etiquette rules. I'll put that one over there. Also, if you're looking for the game and you're looking for the stream, you've got to go below. I'm not going to put it on here. So that's one thing. The other thing, like, comment, subscribe. We're 105 people away from 1,000. My record in any one day was the Notts County game at 102. I don't think I'm going to get there today, but it would be freaking amazing if everybody was able to push button on that subscribe button and get me over 1,000. That would be a wonderful day. So I am going to take, if I can remember how to do it. I'm probably not going to worry about it. If somebody comes in, we're just going to have to be attentive to it today, because I struggle to remember exactly how to set it, and I don't, just off the top of my head, I've had to use nothing's as easy as you think it's going to be in this sort of thing. So I don't know what your thoughts are on the lineup that's there. I'm going to bring it back up here. I've got the rules. I don't want to bore anybody with that one. Score predictions, I can't see them scoring. They score less than one per. We've got Ogonkwo in net, and defensively we've been solid recently. I knock on wood and all that sort of stuff, but I'm hoping that we're able to hold off on this one. I think, though, it's going to be an ugly game battled in the midfield, and you're going to hear me just sit about and talk about turnovers back and forth. Both teams are relatively direct. WT_analysis did a recent assessment. We play a very similar game, and so I expect neither team to really monopolize possession. And then I don't know how you protect Gillingham's game. Unlike us, we tend to carry around that just below 50% possession in any given game. But for Gillingham, they'll have a game where they're at like 60, 65, 70% possession. And then they'll have a game where they just fall completely off and they're sitting at 28, 32% possession. So they're sort of scrambled up all over the place when they have no possession, they win. And when they have lots of possession, they lose. So yes, and that's true, Swirly. They do have a new manager, and who knows, they may be a new formation. We could end up seeing two people up front, but I will say from their lineup that came forward, and I guess I can bring that up here. Their lineup that came forward, that is exactly as I drew it up from their previous match, previous league match. So no changes as far as personnel. Whether he's moving Mahoney forward, I don't know. Yeah, and I would love for somebody to step up and grab some offense. I think it's going to have to be scoring by committee today if we're going to end up putting things. But I get the sense as everybody's coming out that this is going to be a battle all the way through, and it's going to be a tight match. Loving them. Oh man, just hearing the stadium in the morning, does that not just get you excited? Because it sure as hell does get me every single time. Yeah, I don't know if it's must win, but it's certainly, I mean, we've got a couple of games here against sort of bottom of the top of table. I mean, you know what I mean? Top 12 teams that aren't exceptional and not, but they're potential playoff teams. And then we get into a run where we're starting to go with the lower end of the table. It'd be really, really nice to be able to pull into those ones on a bit of a run, on a continued heater, and to do our things. That's what I'm hoping for, and I guess we'll certainly see what happens. And it looks like we're going to have an opportunity to take a moment here soon. So yes, I did see that, and that was I'm always surprised and maybe a little bit frustrated at how well my regulation dives go over. It's one of those things where I enjoy doing it. I look into it, and I'd kind of like to do less. I'd like it to be like, oh, his statistical take, his output, his intrigue. He's funny, he's charming. But instead, I get these deep dive regulations and they like it. I love it. I'm super impressed. I also had Liam for the first time make a comment, and so people, I appreciate when people like what I'm doing, and so just gonna take a moment. And we're back. Nice little moment with the flyover. A poem at W&G, a very unpaid, poorly paid job. The one that W&G has, I'm appreciative for the efforts though, getting those scores out to us. I'm just gonna hit the refresh button on the live to make sure that I'm as fast as I can so that you guys aren't waiting forever. If you haven't been here before, feel free to hit the pause button if at the start and try to get to it. We try to get no spoilers, and so one of the ways to do that is if you are watching on iFollow, hit the pause button on it, get the audio sort of lined up. You'll see where we are with respect to the score as I'm watching it. There's some latency and I can't really get it out to you instantaneously as much as I would like to do. That's just not a thing. So 36 people already into the chat. If you've never been here, welcome. Feel free to hit the subscribe button and join the chat. Let's get into it. I'm excited for this one, but I'm anticipating a slow start. So I don't know whether that's really fair. And a slow start by both teams. I think this is just going to be a war of attrition. And that's a game where with Wrexham, we tend to lay the pressure on over time. And start to break people down. We'll see what happens. Young back line, but their midfields, and especially the jersey number to watch for the guys in black and white is number 18 in the midfield. He has numbers that I have not seen on anybody in the midfield, and so statistically he looks like a weapon. And I think that's why Evans drew into the middle, is he's probably going to be responsible for that challenge. Packed out racecourse. Kick off shortly. Gillingham going to be going from right to left on your computer monitor, screen, tablet, whatever you're watching on. Williams, the Welsh international former, sitting there, he does look like Adrian from Two Beards. I'm sorry. I don't know if you saw that video and if you agree, but I certainly had a chuckle. Wrexham going from left to right, so that's us going towards the cop. Everybody's ready. We're waiting. It's still a minute until 7, so there's the whistle. Away we run, and let's get into it. Indeed, you're just early possession, left side for us. Throw in, and away we go. I'm gonna bang out some things and grab some coffee and get into this one as well. Long ball up over top, right side where 40's at. Cross in, early opportunity, headed away, it's still there, up in the air, Mendy trying to collect it, but it doesn't, it bounces away, and we're going to recycle out on the left side. Good morning, James. Nice to see you as the numbers start to jump up. Nobody likes to hear my preview videos, but man, the spike that you get as soon as kickoff hits, I appreciate it and love it. Lots of early possession. Nice little pass over there by Palmer. It's over on the left side. Lee across to Mendy. He's sitting there, nobody on him. Selects the corner, awaits in. Oh, it drops down. It's there. Dolby scores! I was wrong, and I love it. Woo! That was Palmer, the new aerodynamic, unshaven, prepared. He snuck in there. Nobody saw him. Nobody recognized him. That was a bit of a scramble play. Mendy, lots of space. Lots of space for Mendy out on the left-hand side. Took forever for people to get over there. And they finally get over there. And he gets the cross in. It bounces around, ends up on Palmer's foot. He slides it over to the right. And Bob's your uncle. Let's get on with it. That's, yeah, not a good start for the new manager. A goal within 2 minutes. We will take it. So here's the kick. Mendy, left-footed, in. Misses everybody. It lands right in front of a defender. Oh, Dalby ends up punting it off of the goalkeeper, and it rolls on the rebound right to Palmer. Wide open net. He could have done a pirouette and a half scissor, a somersault, and bumped it in because there was just that much time. So that was really a mistake on Ogle, who's their young center back, 22, 23, I think he is. He went to go and clear that one, didn't get it out of the way. It goes to Dalby, and let's get into it. We're one up, and it's always beautiful when the team you're playing averages less than one a game to end up going one up. Let's do it. Whew. It's beautiful. Yeah, I think that one we were fortunate. Ogle should have done a better job. And there's your first flop, Brendan, of the game. OG, sorry, I pronounced it incorrectly. OG's the name, and we're going to get a free kick from the edge of the area, it looks like. Or is it a free kick to us? 30 yards out, left side. Yeah, Lee looking stretched out to Mendy. They're just showing the replay, and it goes up, and that's OG who's right there, who sort of heads it down and puts it right over onto Dalby, who punts it off the goalkeeper, goes to Palmer, and he gets it in. Flop. We need a flop meter, and I just give you the control. You just have a little ticker, and you hit the button, and just like the subscriber button down there, that just counts flops as we go through. Right footer into the box, flat, too flat, easily cleared, and it's back out to the center. There was really nothing in that attempt. Gillingham with a little bit of control here. Website enhancement. I have to go back. I blew up the website by mistake a week and a half ago, and now I got to go back and fix it, and I just haven't had the time, and an ongoing problem. The life of enjoying doing this and trying to add toys is it doesn't seem to work. Another hint to get the subscriber number all the way up, because if we're able to do that, I'll be able to get it done, because I'll retire from my job and do it full time. Never happening. Never happening. We've gained possession in the midfield, and this is really the fight as I see it. And one of the things to consider, it looks like we're doing, is lots of long balls through. And I mean, we have the most long balls in the league. Oh, off the head. Hayden went to go and hammer a long ball down, and the guy was standing 2 feet in front of him and took that right off the beak. That's Williams. Yeah, he's asking the referee, saying, "Come in." Took a full shot. Putts alert, yeah. Whew. It's not a pretty one, this one. And spoink. I think he'll be all right. And I think it was, if I'm correct, that league games, Williams had 9 starts for Gillingham before this one. And so I felt like this was one, he's coming to Wales, this is one you've got to give to him, right? I'm not going to give that one away, so. Weather, great call. I didn't look up what the weather was in North Wales this time. Maybe I should add a little widget at some point in time for... Looks like it's 10, going to be relatively sunny, no precipitation anticipated, and it's going to decline and get colder towards 6 degrees by the end of the match. Yeah, What's it look like? Oh, it's sunny. The sun's still up and it's stretching out. Sorry, I'm just still watching the replay. There's no issue. Everybody seems to be comfortable. Nobody's... Man, Palmer had all sorts of time in that one, didn't he? Well, we've got the ball in possession into the final third. Palmer. Love that aerodynamic, fresh style. He's quicker, faster, lost 2 pounds of hair. He's ready to go. Back to midfield. Lots of possession for us. I haven't pulled down the meter yet. 3 shots for us already. Dalby, Palmer up into the midfield, cleared away. It's skyballed 20 yards up into the air. Knocks it down. We're under control. Header. Still on the right side. That's got to be a foul. There we go. Free kick. So that's going to be a 35 yards out. Could there be a yellow? Not going to be a yellow, but he did clip him in the legs. Just late. Ball's away. There goes, clatters into his left leg, and he goes down. No, Brendan. Does that make us nervous? He needs the hairy beast. Whatever makes him play better. If this new aerodynamic version ends up making him faster, stronger, better. Good morning, Alex. Then I'm all for it. Possession 54-46 for them. 3 shots on total for us. Nothing for them. So far, they say it's in our favor. They're right. Tom, is that Tom taking the free kick? Yeah, left footer. He's going to be having to shoot this one into the box, and we'll see how it goes. Here he comes. Just corner post, short post, and there was just nobody there. So away we scramble. Williams gets... That was a flop. We could probably put that one up there. Evans up forward. Nice little interplay passing. Palmer. Ooh, that was a bit of a rough one over to the left side. Hit that one trying to get it to Dalby. And out come Gillingham on the blast. Breaking down the right. Tozer's with him. That's Bonnet. Tries to swing it into Williams, and Ogonkwo just says, I'll take that one. Thank you so much. Oh, God, you're going to make me think of Carolina Hurricane players. I'm a Western Conference guy. I don't watch enough Eastern games unless they're Canadian teams. And to be fair, I've sort of turned away from hockey for the year, and then all of a sudden the Canucks start playing well as soon as I do. Ogonkwo with it. 8:29. I'm exactly lined up if you're still trying to match with where you're at. 69 people into the chat. Welcome. One more thing is for those of you that are new here, as the ball's over at the midfield and they're punting it around, Gillingham is with possession, is we are trying to capture more and more. Oh, I'm on the wrong one. That's why it's not working. More and more people. So I'm going to put the country ticker up. Feel free to have a look at it. And if you're not on the list, I hope I got all of them, then feel free to give a shout out where you're watching from. Join the subscription, or you have to subscribe, hit that button, join, and then we'll scratch that one up here and follow through. So Gillingham on the right-hand side, still within their final third, looking to push it forward. The possession, 60% us, 40% them early on. And Ogie, not having the best first half, let that one roll all the way over to the end line, or not the end line, the sideline before he was able to get control of it. On the missed reception, and then had that header that ended up leading to the Palmer goal. Palmer got it. Scramble in front. Mendy with the cross. Ogie missed the header to get it out, and it landed at Dalby's feet. Another one. The 2 center backs, he just punted it right in front of Ogie, and it just runs over through, and now Tozer's going to go up and grab for a long throw in. Nope, he's going to play it quickly. So yeah, the back line just not doing well. Another bounce around play. The ball's still there. Just scramble. All in the right-hand corner. Williams settles it down. It looks like Gillingham's going to get it in control. Turnover. Man, this is not what I expected, to be fair, from the midfields. I thought they were going to be solid, and I haven't found 18 yet, but because I figured he was going to be the guy who controlled it. But it's just lots of giving the ball away and lots of scramble play. 8:99. closer every day, every video I put out. It's been fun, and the last one I had, that cop video got 10,000 views, or 10,000. My tweet got 10,000 views. Thanks to Liam and Rob Ryan Red and others tweeting. 40 on the right hand side into the area, left footed. It gets it in front. Probably would have been nicer to get that a little bit over top of everybody, but it gets cleared and he gains control again. Cannon all the way back to the midfield and we'll reset. There's some good quality work here that's happening right now as far as securing ball with good first touches and being able to find a body in space to maintain possession. And it's that difference that's really driving the possession numbers, and then now giving Mendy an opportunity on the left side. He just nicked away from the edge of the area. If that got through, it would have been dangerous. And here they come on the run. Williams, left-hand side, one man back. He's got numbers going towards the area. Williams going to go left-footed against Ogonkwo, and I think that was off, and it's going to go for a corner. Yikes. A little slow getting back. I guess that's the problem, is when you're getting so much possession, you end up getting drawn forward. You got to remind yourself to set back. Lots of replay. I'm going to suggest it's a new producer that we've never had, because the replays are taking a while to get going. And I think you guys are 20 seconds. Right footer into the box, cleared away relatively easily. And here it is again, just sort of chipped overhead, and Gillingham's able to recycle and get. It's on the right-hand side here now. Cross into the box, headed down. It's right there for a kick. Bounces down. OG's right there. Oh, how did he miss that one? Because I don't know how he did that. He could have put it anywhere that he wanted. We were fortunate on that one that a center back was whose feet it fell to, because he's on the far post away from that cross that came in. It bounced off of a block and goes right to him. He may have been offside, but he ends up going and kicking it, and he shanks that wide right. I don't know how he managed to do that. Yeah, he would have been offside or should have been offside if it wasn't called, but he's 6 feet away from the goal, and he managed to shank it on the left post, and he gets to shank it 4 feet off to the right. Yikes. Got to get a little bit better there. 899 if somebody wants to be that 900th subscriber. So we've got possession now. Tozer looking. Gets it out to 40, chests it down. Away he runs. We're going to run through, or try to this time. And there's the turnover, and Williams gets it. And he's been everywhere. Palmer through on his own. Ooh. The strength, the fend off, taking on the Williams channel, just keeps powering through, gets the shot away, but it gets blocked. Yeah, that Stockport game, I'm okay with a draw. There's the Notts game, I'm okay with a draw, especially the Notts game. I don't want either team to take away 3 points on there. There's the familiar Morse code coming into the headset if you're watching on iFollow, just like we had last time, getting the beeps. Here it starts. I don't have the Dominican. Is it actually on my list here? Yeah, we can list that one separately. So the Dominican's an ad if I missed, if somebody's here from the Dominican. 101 away, Georges. You're exactly right. Midfield. Ball's in the air. Everybody's taking a shot at it. We've got to head to it. They've got to head to it. Evans gets a chest to it. He clips it over top. They'll settle it down, and it's a goal kick. Good ball from OG. It's up there into the just on the outside of the area, left side, lays it back. Kind of let us off the hook by letting everybody come back by laying that off. Now it goes to the other side. Mendy's going to collect it, and we're going to dance away. Illegal stuff off camera. No, the joy of having two kids, and one of them in preschool, is we catch every single bug that ever comes into the house. And so I feel like my nose is just going to be a little runny. So I'm trying to make it such that, and I don't think John's here. I haven't seen him. He may just be listening. But I don't want to make it that annoying as I'm doing the broadcasting. So I can't try to see the name. Antoine, is that who it is? Thank you. I appreciate that. So well done by Jones there, clearing it up. They're going to get a throw in. They take it quickly. It's clicked off Mendy's heels, and they're going to take their corner from the right post in the tech end. I do like their kit. Oh, there's the beeping again. Yeah, Bradford's in an anomaly, right? They have all those resources available to them, and they just continually get it wrong. Hey, we've hit 900. It's good. Thank you, you guys. Going to be a left-footed in-swinger from the right side. Short ball, skips, and then ends up getting cleared away, and so it's going to go out where Williams, who's been absolutely everywhere. His work rate is just nuts. Now I know why he doesn't play an entire game, because he just, that level of cardio he must have. But to be fair, Bradford fans are in competition with Stockport fans to be the most annoying. Maybe Tranmere, those three. And so I'm okay with when they suffer. I kind of really am. Gillingham with lots of possession here, but it ends up getting nicked away into the midfield. And this is what I expected, is this midfield sort of wall, which is why they get it back. And I'm anticipating we're going to get a long ball at some point once we get everything settled. Tozer. Dalby's got it, gets it over to forward right side. Another long ball, trying to play it up to Palmer, who's running up into it, but not. Oh, that's a flop, but I don't know why you'd even get close to him. And that's Palmer ran by him within like a couple of feet, and the goalie took an opportunity to kind of take a little bump and a flop. And I don't like that you even get that close. He clearly was going to have the ball. Yeah, Knots, I find it's one or two. Collectively, and this is people also showing up on the channel, I found most Knots fans to be relatively respectful. It's, man, Stockport, they lit up the channel. I got lots of views. When Wrexham plays poorly, I get flooded with views. And so it's kind of comical. I'm good with it. Interception at the midfield for Lee. He's got it, but what's he going to do here? He gets it to Mendy. Well done by those two. Get a throw in, because they had no space to be able to do anything, and we're kind of interplay, pass to Lee, pass to Mendy, pass to Lee, right up against the sideline. Antoine Harvey, I appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Hey, Jello, Australia. A reminder, watch party, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, 1 in the UK. Long throw in, headed straight up in the air, still up in the air, and they're going to clear it away. I'm going to be joining Two Beards Media, Adrian and Rousey, the most bearded Wrexham podcast in the history of Wrexham AFC. The three of us just chatting. We're going to do the live chat, something similar to this. And so if you have questions you want to see if we have the answers to, if you want to talk about how what we think of this game or otherwise, we'll have the opportunity. I'm hoping that they're eavesdropping on this one. What flavor? In our third, just settling it down. It seems to be this is the strategy. We'd set a midfielder or two back with our back line, try and find an open space with everybody forward, and then we look for a long ball up over top when it's available to us to try and get through their midfield, because they've got some guys who can nick some possession and turn it the other way. So this seems to be our strategy with this one. And we're getting backed up here all the way to Ogonkwo on this one as they apply the pressure. And I guess that's one way to do the long ball, is just give it to Ogonkwo and see what can end up happening. And yeah, they do seem scrambly in the back line as that one's headed, but too far, it'll go to their goalie. Thanks, Shady. Antoine. I appreciate it. I ran up over and everybody clicked, and then they went like, oh, you didn't need it. Let's scroll it back. 906, 903. I'm surprised I haven't waken anybody up in the household. That's the big shock for me. Looking at the shots, 4-2. We're about 40 yards, 35, 40 yards out, throw it in back to the midfield stripe. I haven't heard about Barnett in a while. I heard he was injured. I know he's hasn't really had a run out since the whole suspension thing. I was to understand that he was healthy. So I don't know. Turner, the goalkeeper for the Gills, all the way down, of course, to Williams, rolls to Ogonkwo, and let's carry on. 76 people lining in. Concurrent viewers, that's... Thanks, Brendan. 40, right side, midfield stripe, settling it down. The game has definitely settled into itself now as you're starting to see how this is going to end up taking place. You've got long balls from us, described as ambitious ball, and we almost nick it again in the right-hand side. And I'd say it's for two reasons. Their strength in the midfield, and also they're really struggling to get out from their back line. Once it gets forward into Williams territory and their front line, they look a lot better. But they've got Tozer, well done. Yep, you got to call that free kick. Brilliant by Tozer. Up against the sideline, fending off two guys, rolls towards the center line, waits till he gets kicked in the back of the legs, and we'll have a free kick right there. In a gambling addiction video on crutches, that sounds controversial. Must be not a lot of scorers used to W&G dumping things out. I haven't looked at what the table looks like or anything, but seems quiet. Ogonkwo all the way over to Ford. Lee, just a settled, responsible, reasonable game. Hayden's going to go back and get it all the way to Ogonkwo. 23 minutes past. It's a quiet start. Does that make anybody nervous? Not used to being in this situation. Ian, welcome. Gillingham able to get it on that long kick, and Palmer nicks it from him. There we go, punched it through. We've got two people up there if we can get possession. Lee goes to get it, but no, Dalby settles it back down. It looks like that's Evans. Can't see the number. I'm just going by the hairstyle. It is. Sets it back, and we've decided to bring it back and settle it down. Long ball, if we don't get possession, quick nick of the ball, and that seems to be our strategy going forward. So another attempt there didn't work. Gambling debt. It'll happen to everybody. Williams, he's been everywhere. He's been the straw that stirs their drink for sure. It's O'Connor with a sort of an ugly clear. It'll go for a throw-in, but I like that outcome. You can keep those scores coming. W&G with Salford. You keep telling me they're scoring, and I will take it. Stephen, you missed the first goal. Yeah, no, that was OG made a mistake, the center back for Gillingham. It was a Mendy cross that came into the box, landed sort of awkwardly right in front of, between the two center backs. OG went to go and knock it down and clear it behind the line. Didn't get enough onto it. It fell at Dalby's feet. He punts it right from the side of the net, hits the goalkeeper, and it rolls to Palmer, and he's got wide open net. Nobody in front of him, nobody around him. And here comes the corner. It's flat. Williams gets it again, flicks it up over top. Dangerous. It's right there at the edge of the area. Going to come back in from the right side here. Scooped up into the area. Ogonkwo comes out, collects, calm. John, it's nice to see you. I was just chatting about you. And for those of you that are ahead, where I'm watching is what's on the score there. So if you're ahead of it while you're watching, just going to ask you to hit the pause or just don't spoil it. Ooh, headed away. We're going to get a throw here. Do we take that one quickly? Going to be a throw. Dalby's trying to fake that he's not hurt, but the referee's going to force the pause. That's fascinating. a little bit of a head check, throw everything down. So we're going to have a Tozer bomb coming in from the left-hand side here. He's leaning up against the post. Here it comes. How far can he get it? Short post, a little bit further up in the air. Oh, Hayden's right there. It falls to the ground. Still there. Ugh. Cleared away, and we take a foul anyway. That was still dangerous. That's two. Mendy's kick and Tozer's throw that has fallen to ground. Like, if you had a little tiny poacher in there who's going to be able to collect those, there's an opportunity. No, I don't want to talk about the referee. But to be fair, the ref, I think, has been okay so far, but there hasn't really been anything that controversial, has there? That qualifies for the bog. If the dog wants to go out, that's the bog. We'll get the goal. We saw it in the Welcome to Wrexham episode happening here. More importantly, with John here, it means that my nose is going to start running even more because there's nobody who gets perturbed by it more than he does. 89 people in the chat. Love you. If you want to join the chat, feel free to jump in, hit that subscribe button. It's only a minute until you can jump right in. Up in the air, going to go out for a touch, and I don't know who they're giving that one to. It was kind of a both at the same time. At my house? No, not at my house. Kids yelp, but no dogs barking. Early morning necessities is Gillingham. Oh, into the box, into the area. Tozer's right there to clear it up over the air. Lee gets it, hammers it away. Palmer puts it down. That's two from Palmer. A little bit behind people. One offensively going from right to left there with his left foot going from left to right. Just putting things behind. Long ball. I wouldn't call that a dink over the top, so as it was described. That was a long thump down the field. Hayden, under control. Moving forward. Possession 55-45 us. Shots 5-2 as I upgrade things. We've got numbers up there, and they're not really that set, but not really anywhere to put it. So we've put Evans into a bad spot. He's able to clear it. Now Lee's got it midfield. Settles it down to Hayes. Forward down the right side. Long ball over top. Headed away. Oh, nice little pass over to Ford there by Jones. Ford looking for Jones, right side, cross, up, over. It's there, Palmer, header, flicked up, over, and we're going to get a corner. It was off his head, off of a body part. I'm not going to know which one that was. Canadians don't get colds. No. We're immune. It's part of that ceremony that we have with the Canadian geese where we go out and we we channel all of our rage through a big ceremony. That's why Canadian geese are so upset and angry the entire time. They're like our Air Force. That's why we're so happy, is we channel the rage and we get the benefit from them of no colds. Long corner in, far post. Ooh, weird save, but punched away well. It's going to roll over, and we're going to get a throw in from 30 yards, although he's going to take it a lot closer. Good on Jones for going to grab it and scoring about 15 feet there on the line. I'm sorry, John. I'm trying my best. Long throw. Deep this time. Hayden right there. It still comes to Evans. Could he get it away? No. Evans was. I think if he would have went for the kick there, he kind of did a. I'm bumping up against his body, fall down, shimmy into the penalty area, looking for a call. And I think what he should have done is taken a kick, another scramble ball into the box. Those long balls, that's what we're doing. Just pump it in there, pump it in. I want to see this again. Tozer gets it. Hayden just messes. Evans has it. There is contact, but I think he was expecting more, trying to draw it, and it just didn't work. I wouldn't have called that a penalty. A flop for us. Put it up on the score. Should I change that shot counter to a flop counter? Round like a hockey puck. Hard as a rock. Galvanized rubber. So the sun has officially left the race course now. Looks like it's on the other side of the stadium, so it's potentially nippy. 95 people in the chat. Long ball up again. Can we get that down? Dalby, who hasn't really, other than that rebound, been that active, he ends up losing the ball. Did we get it? Did we keep it in? No flag up. I think we were probably fortunate there, even though I'm on the wrong side of the camera angle. But Mendy's going to lose it and take a... The ref is letting them play. They had a little pushing and shoving match over in the corner. And I was shocked. I thought when Mendy got him to ground that they were going to set it down. Lee into the middle. It's right there for Dalby. He's got an opportunity. He shoots. Oh, glorious, amazing. Oh, that was Palmer with the chance. Dalby flicked it over to Palmer on the left-hand side. He's got his left foot. He's wide open, has the opportunity, and I don't think he missed by much. Dalby, turned it back outside. Palmer left-footed, and he ends up taking it short side. Probably should have had an extra one there. Good play, bad finish, perfectly describes it. Dalby turns it inside, and no center back to be found. He runs in. He's, 6 feet out? Goalkeeper coming out to challenge and take away the angle, and he just ends up running it off to the left-hand side. This will give us an angle as to how far he missed it. He missed it by quite a bit, 3 feet. Yeah. Well done by Hayden. Long ball from the midfield to try and find Bonet. I don't know how to pronounce his name. I should listen to Mark. And instead, Hayden goes over and grabs it. And so now we're pushing forward. Jones up the side. Palmer in with battle with the center backs. Gets fended off, and it's back to their goalkeeper. Don't see that too often, especially, I believe that was Masterson, who's only 24, 25. And he fended off Palmer there relatively easily to be able to secure that. Gillingham now, right-hand side. We've got numbers back, but they're pushing forward over into the right side, looking for a cross, taking on Mendy, pushes forward, nothing. Gillingham still with control, back to Williams, who's absolutely, he's right side, left side, up front, in behind, he's everywhere. Gillingham again, Jeffries. With it 35 feet out, looking as everybody's running around. We've been back in shape and looking good, actually, quite defensively. That's interesting. Kim, are you watching the game for the Knott's Crew game, or is it just the stats that come up from FOTMob telling you it's not going well? Push forward, right side again. Is it going to go into across touch? No, they're able to get it up against the corner flag, looking for a corner. And they successfully get one. Do we get the goal kick? No, they're going to call it a corner. I thought it was a corner, but O'Connor's certainly giving them the business. Oh, they did give it a goal kick? Swindon. I will take a Swindon over Stockport any day of the week. Left-footed in-swinger right side. Bullet ends up going to it should be our goal kick if it doesn't. Ooh, knocked back in by us. That was dangerous. I thought that would have been a goal kick for us. I'm surprised that we took it and played it forward, but it ends up being no threat. It's back to their goalkeeper. Away we go. Free kick for us. Oh, settling in. 35 minutes. It seems to be a quick half. The joys of scoring early, I guess, as everything settles down. Ogonkwo. Looking long. Cleared away by them, and this is now turning into just the long ball game back and forth. Williams settles it down. I keep saying his name, he's been everywhere. Right side now for Gillingham. Cross into the box. Wasted header just flies up into the air, and so that was easy, and away we go. We've got numbers ability to counterattack. Dalby with it on his feet. Lee coming up to his left, tries to get Palmer. Palmer now right side. Gillingham starting to get back, but we've got more coming forward. What's he going to do here? Palmer settles. Right side. Dinks it over to Jones. Here comes a cross. It's right there. Oh, couldn't get to it, but Mendy racing up to try and score it. He's got it. Mendy hammers and shoots it 10 feet wide, 6 feet too high. Love it, though. The counterpunch, going after it. I predict Gillingham will lose if they don't have any shots on target. Yes. Now, if it goes south, though, Kim, the punishment's going to be immense because the rarity of that actually occurring is pretty high. An own goal. Did you curse us with an own goal? Long ball going over top. Palmer's there. Goes back to the keeper. Palmer's going to run forward with the pressure as he's playing with it. Gillingham throw. In their own half. Hey! And they stuff it up along the line and just basically give it to us. I'll tell you what, I'm not impressed with Gillingham. If this goes south, I'm going to be quite angry because why would I say that? Bold prediction there, Kim. I didn't put it out into the universe. And besides, if you say it, it won't happen, right? Oh, Brent Burns. Yes, the bearded one who plays for Carolina. He's not a... Georges, we can't call him Canucks in hockey because if you reference a Canuck, you're referencing a Vancouver team because it's the Vancouver Canucks. And so that's where we're at. We've got the ball. Evans has it, gets it back. 40, who's playing almost like a center back, gets it over to Mendy as we had everybody up, still forward. Everybody's still forward from that free kick. So there's the center backs are still all up there. O'Connor, left side. Cross in, scoops, almost an own goal for them. Is that? I don't think that was OG that was off of, but that was a heel clip that ended up going over and challenging Turner there. Had to come up with the save. Sorry.
What? There's so many people.
I know. Good morning. One second.
What is those?
As you can tell, we've got to. I've got to talk to them because everybody can hear you if you talk. So can you just wait a second?
I want to tell something. That was a fun night having Daddy night.
Sorry about that. The beautiful distraction, I guess I can call it, while watching the beautiful game. Just having your kid come in and pitch in a couple of things. Thomas, are you talking about me or my 4-year-old who decided to come over and talking about all of the people and he was following with his finger the Wrexham team as they were doing their thing? So he's been punted. No more munchkins. Let the kids speak. Bring them in. Pretty soon, it's the random stuff. Maybe for the halftime. I don't know. We'll see. He would have a blast in here. Oh, Priest got timed out. I'm sorry. Just as a reminder, the bots are still there. So if you throw out all caps, you throw out, yeah, and that's what happened. So I apologize, Shady, for that one. All caps, too many emoticons. If you end up spamming with messages, the bot will grab you and kick you out. Did the kid subscribe? No, you know what? I actually think he has an account. Maybe I should subscribe to myself. No, not going to do that. Ball's in the air, 40th minute, all the way back to Ogonkwo. Just lots of midfield kick back and forth, but Gillingham not doing themselves any favors with the turnovers that they've had. Nice little ball to Mendy. Mendy now into the penalty area. He's got options. Oh, behind Palmer. Palmer was, and I think Palmer knew it I don't like John Connor either. I'm like a foot and a half ahead. Otherwise, he would have had lots of time there. So we've still got possession, but all the way out at midfield here is bounces around. Gillingham grabs it, and away they go back the other way. End of the cage in the corner. It's a clock, sir. Gillingham into across midfield. Another horrible. See, just too many mistakes from their center backs. And it gets across the midfield line, has numbers over on the right, goes to put it over to him, puts it 3 feet back. So that's Masterson. Sorry, he's the right back, not the center back. But if I'm the coach, oh no, he was the center back. That's twice that he's been directly responsible for missing a pass and giving us a throw in. Yeah, sorry, Priest. No, I always feel bad when people get timed out for something when there's not much in it. I don't have a dog. Gillingham, OG, left side, center, still looking, not much in it. I would like to see that second goal. This is one of those games where you feel like if you can get it, you've probably solidified things. And I say put it in early and let's move on. As we nick the ball, get it back to Ogonkwo. Just a lot of back passes this one. More than I think I've seen in a Wrexham match in a long time. Palmer got it there off of the bounce. Masterson lets it. He gets it to Lee. Lee getting to the front of the area. Oh, he gets bumped and loses control. He gets it over. Jones, right-footed, going to go for a corner. I don't know if Jones realized how much time he had there. Yeah, Andrew, thanks. The Gillingham Gills. It throws me off. Absolutely deserve it. Love that. Kids that go and sit in the corner and then they know that that's where they're supposed to be. I think Jones didn't. If he would have taken a little bit more time, he had that defender who I think was running past him, and he would have had more of an opportunity. But we got Tom here, left-footed in swinger from the right side. Here it comes. Can't tell where the service is because of the angle, but it gets just taken by Turner, who gets up in the air and grabs it. And here they come on a break. Gillingham across the midfield stripe, still moving forward over to the left-hand side. We've got numbers back. We're okay. Williams now left-hand side. Took on forward, gets it off, feeds it back, hammered. Nope, not hammered. Back to Williams on the left-hand side, edge of the corner, edge of the penalty area. He's dancing, and nothing there. Goal keep. Was that 40 that time that he was taken on? Well done. You can't have that many consistent failures by Gillingham here trying to push the ball forward, back passes, missed cross opportunities, and it not come back and bite you, right? I mean, do I get a little bit nervous here that the shots are 9-3? They've given us so much free possession in the first half, and we're only up by 1. Is that a concern, or do we just take it and say, hey, Mullen's out, McLean's out, we're up by 1, shut your lips, Sean, and let's go on. I'll take either one. Let the kid speak, we'll wait. That was the youngest one, and he's just going to wail. There will be no words. The crowd is not loud today at all. It could be the 2 minutes of extra time, by the way, coming. Could be the Armistice Day, Remembrance Day, Anzac Day, whatever it is, wherever you are. Mood. Could be that the tattoo festival is at the university and took up their parking spots. Tozer clears it away. Only 1 more minute of extra time. Another headshot from Lee off of a Gillingham player's face. But the play goes on. And that's Jeffries on the left side. You know, all the numbers and statistics and impressions I saw from Coleman, I haven't really noticed him at all. Long ball, headed away. Mendy now with it. Are we going to move? Oh. He broke the ankles of the defender there with that little deke, but then ended up punting it and giving it away. Oh, it's right there, knocked down. Oh, that was a handball. That was a handball by us. Not given. Let's go on. We didn't see it. Everybody cover your eyes. That was Hayden. It was far enough away. Ball rolls out. I'm going to look at this to see where his hand was when it was taken, but it fell down to number 13, and Hayden goes out there. Oh, that's a handball. He had his hand out like this. Halftime whistle goes. It was a penalty. Mark agrees there. Fortunate for us, that was really the only play of the half for Gillingham, and that's what makes me nervous. If I'm Parky, I'm now peeling the paint off in there just for the sake of peeling the paint off in the dressing room by screaming and yelling and trying to wake everybody up, because I think they need that one there. We'll take it. I'm just going to take 2 minutes, hit the mute button, go and take care of a couple things, and then we'll be right back talking about the 5 o'clock hot stove, this game, take a look around the scoreboard and see what's going on. And yeah, just give me a couple of seconds here and we'll be right back. I see you with the all caps, free this little kid, Shady. Free the kid. If he was a little bit more predictable, I would be all over it. But you never know what you're going to get. You either get the sweetest little munchkin you've ever met in your entire life, or he's just absolutely nightmarish. So we're not going to get into that. Yeah, and Mansfield still has that game in hand, remember. So that'll be interesting to see exactly what happens. There's 96 people still in the chat while you're sitting here dealing with the half, and I'm going to get the clock lined up as we do this, moving forward to the second half. If you're enjoying this, you're having a good time, you want to join the chat, whatever it is, hit that subscribe button, trying to race off up into 1,000. And so that would be amazing if we could get close enough that we might be able to get to it. And also a reminder, planning to be here for tomorrow. I think we will be for the women's match, and it's a long one. There's a large gap here with the women's games. I'm just going to bring up the time. They've got Swansea tomorrow, and then they've got a bit of a gap over the Christmas break. I think there's just one game, really. They play the 19th, and they're not back for a month on the 17th, and then they're not back for a month after that. So there's only going to be 2 games, so I do want to try and cover that one. It'll be starting 9 o'clock in the morning our time, but I'm not sure because of football, which may be canceled. It's Remembrance Day. That's right, so it's not on. With a U. Patrick, Shaun. I guess my name, I did put it down. The camera's always inverted, and I think even when, like, I'm pointing at my name right here on the screen, but I think when I watch it back on YouTube, it ends up being flipped the other way. So there's the scores up on there. I'm looking at the Knots game, 0-0 with Crew. I'll take that as a result. A draw is a perfect result for me in the Crew Knots County game. I don't want either team to win, but if one has to, I guess it should be Crew. Stockport County down to Swindon, that's helpful. And so we're just, the other one that I'm interested in is Mansfield, and they're up 2-1 as W&G has been reporting. From Hawaii on vacation. I will take that. I will take watching on vacation. Now, what I need to do is to get somebody to go to East Timor, because that's the only one that I scratched by mistake on the map that Brandon was so helpful in sending over. So, but I will take Hawaii, and I should probably grab my piece of paper and write that down. I don't know what your guys' thoughts are on the half, and you guys, if you're watching, was it any different than what I suggested? It was sort of just a nothing half. We got that early goal, and then it was just, Gillingham just didn't impress me with their mistakes. And then they get an opportunity in the 11th hour that probably should have been a handball, and we were lucky that we danced away with that one and didn't get bit with it, as it were. And I'm a little bit concerned that my clock is not updating. Yeah, funny you should mention that. East Timor, that's lucky. It's one of those things that if somebody was to ever come on here and say, I'm in East Timor, I'm going to be like, you're going to have to send me a picture. I know that that's odd, but can we prove that? And then, yeah, for you, Snowboard, I know I'm going to get a Photoshop picture. You don't have to take your time. I've got your emails, by the way. It's just been one of those things I've been delayed in getting there. I feel like I need to get W&G a nice toy where you can control the scoreboard by yourself. Don't get not API. Don't set it up with the automatic updates, right? And pay for it. Just get W&G to show up with this like large keyboard that you can automatically update every score, and I could just see the pictures of her sitting there entering in numbers. It would be awesome. Yeah, well, then you look at the bench. Who do you get that's going to bring in energy? Tunnicliffe, I guess, in defense. Cannon, certainly. Davis, yes. I don't think I want to mess with the Palmer-Dalby combination, especially because we only have Bickerstaff in reserve, just the one striker. So not going to go with shaking that up too much. I'm going to update my feed to make sure I'm live, and I seem to be doing relatively well today. Good old Sunny Donnie. It's an interesting day with the subscribers. I race up, I race down, I race up. I guess maybe it's that new thing, people just clicking along as they go forward. Yeah, I'd like to see Davis. The energy, the capacity. Cannon would be okay for me. I'm okay with Boiler, Tunnicliffe coming in. McAlinden, I just don't think he's got it going yet this season. He hasn't been poor, but I just, to me, maybe it depends on the score. If we're up by 2, up by 3, I'm okay with seeing McAlinden. If it's tight, I want some energy and I want some push. I want an opportunity to secure this and move forward. Sunday, November 19th, Wrexham at Swansea, no? There is no game tomorrow. That's next weekend. It's a cup game for the ladies. Thank you. And I'm wondering, I'm looking at the league matches for the women, and I know it's harder to get information out, but they've got that game next Sunday, then a month off, then a month off again for Barrytown. They'll finish off their first 14 February 11th, and then I guess they've just got 6 games after that playing against the other top teams, the other top 4 back and forth. So it'll be interesting to see how the women do, especially with this no Rosie. Oh, I guess this one, she can't serve her red card suspension in the cup game, can she? Okay, if she could, that'd be fortuitous, but I think that's got to be for the Swansea game that we won't have Rosie because of the back-to-back yellows that she took in the last match. all in the last, in extra time or after 90 minutes, right? Yeah, that's what I figured. Cup match, she'll be in and then have to serve it against Swansea. It's been good. If you haven't watched the women's matches, they're free on iFollow. And so you can get your account, get registered, check out what the iFollow's all around. Mr. Griffiths typically does them. And they've been good. The surprise, the last one, I'm going to forget her name. Was it Akers, the goalkeeper? In the last match they had against the New Saints, exceptional performance. And then I find out afterwards, not knowing where Dolan or Morgan, sorry, Morgan and Boland were both out, didn't know what was going on. They had work commitments, the joy of being semi-pro. So they had to go into our youth team and they pull out Akers, who's 16 years of age. 16. And she controlled the hell out of that game and was named to Adran Premier League Player of the Week. It was, the women are doing some things, and so it's been fun to watch them. I do want to see them on grass and not playing out at the Rock anymore because, well, A, it's the Rock and people have some problems with it, and rightfully so, and B, the old knees. They've been having lots of girls going down with bad knees. So got the players out there warming up and running around. Mr. Griffiths is taking a break. I feel like I just want that one score. And that's the Stockport. Well, and I guess the Swindon one I want. Those are the two that I'm really worried about. Mostly because I anticipate Mansfield to be able to take out Salford. So, but the Notts Crew game, stay tied. I don't care if it's 0-0, 1-1, stay tied. And any surprise I can take, including Swindon over Stockport, well, and I'll take Salford drawing or beating Mansfield. I'll take either of those. Not a lot of eating. You know, he took a lot of heat, and so instead it just went quiet. There was nothing during the halftime today. So I guess that's the lesson for everybody, is you get less content if you're going to end up slapping people around that are doing solid work. I wasn't a fan of that whole conversation. I can get it if you're being critical of somebody because they're expressing maybe political views that you don't like on a sports broadcast and challenge them for that. But just because they're eating pie and giving you a little bit of entertainment, just leave it alone. Thank you, Carrie, for joining the Horde. I appreciate it. It's all good, W&G. Everybody's at the half. We're all sitting and waiting. Things are ticking along. I keep hitting the go live refresh button to try and make sure that I'm up to date. Oh, we're talking crumpets, so maybe they are back to eating. Yeah, they didn't really settle it down for a ceremony where they had like the whole announcement and everything, right? They certainly had the trophy list, right? And we had the pitch invasion, and maybe that threw everything off. But I guess you didn't have the trophy for when we clinched against Borum, so I don't know. It'll be an interesting one because the very last game of the season is Stockport Wrexham, and there could be a lot in that match. Both teams could be having it locked it up. One team could be scrambling for something, one going for the championship, one going just to make it in. Who knows? I know Stockport County fans have already been saying that they want to have their, what do they call it? The proper sending off for them as they take the championship from Wrexham. So they feel comfortable. enough to be able to make that claim. I haven't heard Evans' name that much either. I remember he had that one in the midfield, but he hasn't been out of place there. It's been largely mistake-free from Wrexham. A couple, while attacking, that would have been nice to get the ball a little bit ahead of somebody. We missed Palmer the one time on the right. Dalby missed on another one that was behind him on the left. Mendy with a passover that was behind Palmer. Just a little bit offensively, but you take those because you've got limited space and you're trying to make it work and you're running through stuff. Lower caps, evil. The inverse of that is Gillingham's just been given the ball away. I don't know if they have turnovers as a score anywhere, but there have been a lot of turnovers. I don't like the fact that we've missed 2 big chances. I don't like that we're 2 for 9 for our shots. Yeah, John, that could very well be the case. And really, we've been trying to skip out the midfield when we've had the ball in any event, right? It's the strategy seems to be, because they're a little bit solid in the midfield, that we're going to do the push out. As the trumpets play and the boys make their way back out onto the pitch. Man, they got to get that cop up. As much as it's nice to see the full skyline over on that side. Devotion, rise to promotion. The crowd is not feeling it. Maybe that's a reason why the teams are feeling a little bit sluggish in this one. Heck, even the chat. Maybe it's just Gillingham. The fact that the teams are 4.5 hours apart, playing on a Saturday. Not a lot of fire in this one. No brimstone. Because usually at this point in time, we're up to about 150 to 200, and then we'll end up capping out at about 200, 300 people sitting here watching the watch party. It's just the constant slow build, and that's been there, but it's been a quieter day, that's for sure. Top 3 teams, and then the 4, 5, 6, 7 will play in a playoff. 4 versus 7, 5 versus 6, and then the final in Wembley, a 1-gamer. Wrexham going from right to left on your screen. Gillingham from left to right. I should be all caught up. Oh, Shady, I know a lot about it. There's a whole video. I don't want to get into it here, but it wasn't a big deal. It's going to get fixed. Wrexham used the wrong application. Had an opportunity bouncing around in the back, and that's Masterston. It's going to be a throw for them as Lee tried to charge it down. The city needed to handle that better by the staff just communicating exactly what the expectations were, and they didn't do it. And so that was on the city, and they slapped their own wrists for it in a subsequent an article the next day. So if you haven't seen Wrexham.com, go for the follow-up article that came out, where they basically said, yeah, we made a mistake. We should have just picked up the phone and talked to them. Savills, on behalf of Wrexham, shouldn't have sent in the wrong application, but it happens, and it's part of the process and development. And so it's going to get built. It's going to be fine. They've just got to go and get some testing done, and they didn't have it done. So it's not a big deal. Yeah, it's there. It should be at the top of the list when you get there. It was a preview of Port Vale on Tuesday, and the last half of the video, starting at about 11 minutes, goes on and talks about that. And I think it's been well received. Rob Ryan Red spoke about it in their podcast. Liam commented on it. I think I've got it correct. So anyways, we're 46 and a half minutes through. Not much happening, but Williams, as he has been all over the place, he's now back with the center backs, playing with them along the midfield stripe instead of so far forward, running aimlessly along the midfield stripe before he sets it back. And there's going to be a foul against OG, against Palmer, and OG's acting as though he's just really taking a shot. The referee's waving everybody away. No foul. Either he took an awkward bump and he's actually really hurt, or he's just making a meal of it. Or something really creative, just get a hot air balloon. The Red Horde. Or whatever they want to put there. So OG has it, left-footed. Palmer goes up there. A little bit of a push, and oh yeah, he just went down way too early. And if he did hurt himself, it was him rolling on the ground because he decided to take that flop. I mean, there was enough in it to give the free kick because of where the elbow was towards the back of his neck. But and then they played a nice little interplay. That's brilliant. That's awesome. So Williams takes the free kick and turns around and gives it back to OG, who's just been laying on the ground writhing in pain for the last 60 seconds. And they have a nice little kickabout in the back after his serious injury to his right leg after that flop. That's not Putz level, but we'll watch it. Evans forward, there's your name. He's running forward again. Are they going to give it back to him? Palmer, no, choose looking for options. Yeah, is running out, but we get the rebound, so he goes and flips it around to the right side, and we're still moving forward. Evans up there asking for a cross. It's up in the air, lead, headed. Oh, he tried to push it over to Evans, and Gillingham was there. Evans thought he should have got there. Going to be a Gillingham throw. It is quiet. You look around, they're showing the crowd right now on screen, and it is everybody just sitting there feeling the winter blues. Mind you, that one part looks like it's the Gillingham away section. Long trip over to sit there and watch. Really, other than that penalty that should have been given to them, to be fair. Tozer bomb from the right side coming. It was. I thought that Lee had enough space, though, that the proper would have, like the right decision would have been to put it to his feet and have a crack. But he knows better than I do as to what space he has for sure. Opted to do the double header and get it over to Evans. So here comes the Tozer bomb. Short post, headed down. It's right there for us. Two players right there. Oh, Gillingham able to clear it away. I don't know if we're onside, but we got three people there and headed in. Yeah, flag goes up. I think it had to. Do it for the kid. It's hard, Francis, to make content and all the editing. Like, that's what I've learned having started doing this. I'd love to be able to get more out. Man, it is just, it's a process. Because you don't want to send out junk, right? It's nightmarish when that happens. Yeah, 4.5 hours, and they made the whole trip. And I mean, 4.5 hours in England might as well be on the other side of the moon. 4.5 hours for us, that's half the way to my parents' place. We're inside the box here. Jones gets it back. Ford looks for the cross, but it bounces off. Jones gets it at the edge of the area. He's right side. It gets deflected out, and I think they're going to get it. There's Williams. Speedy, old Williams, all the way down the left-hand side, all by himself. And he's going to take a throw. Idaho. That's awesome. Because I'm pretty sure I don't have you guys. I don't. So that's Idaho and Hawaii as we're starting to narrow the gap. I think that's only 20 states left now. So Gillingham with another throw in over in the on the left side, taking their time, being told to bring it closer. Oh, to get rid of the extra ball. What's happening right now? I don't understand, Mr. Referee. We're still talking biscuits on the broadcast. Man, this is a long wait for the throw. What the hell is going on here? There it is. Long throw from OG, headed away, and all that just for Mendy to clear. They've still got numbers forward. Nobody back. Oh, Evans with an opportunity on the run. He does nick it. Well done, Evans. Oh, what? He's taking a long... Oh, it was a smart little play. I don't know. Evans tried to catch the goalkeeper out, had it at the right side with the center. I wouldn't have done that because they had three guys broken down and none of the center backs were back. Everybody was screaming. I think I would have run that one forward because they could have had a 2-3 3-on-0 break. But instead, he thought he could chip it over top and catch the keeper out, and ultimately it didn't. And so here we go, Wrexham, possession. Lee over to Dalby, left side, looking, tries to get it to Lee, and you know what? Didn't miss by much, and if it would have got through, it would have been Lee in a dangerous territory, but... And they've updated the shot meter and taken away a shot for us. So we're at 8-5. In front early, the fans are starting to get into it. But it is a different match in the sense that we're ahead. We've been in control. I know that the possession's 50-50, but Gillingham just hasn't really been threatening on our side of the half. It'd be nice if they had a ball possession control with... with a point system as to where the ball is on the pitch as to being a threat. Not necessarily passes or anything, but just the possession side of it. Dalby over to Lee. Oh, he tried to spin into it. Lee tried to spin into the player to be able to protect the ball to come through, and you can see he was going to run through and probably have a free line to the goal. But he ended up not being able to catch the ball, so he flopped and tried to draw it and wasn't able to. The Dominican Republic, I will add that one to the list. Oh, welcome, Santo Domingo. Love it. Man, Williams is 33, is he not? Do I have that in my head incorrect? Because he is absolutely everywhere. He's got to come out here in the 60th minute, you'd think. Can he have that much cardio? Man, that was a long run from the center back and then ultimately just gives the ball away and we clear it down the pitch. $10,268 in attendance, and man, their keeper is all the way out. Turnover. What was that for? O'Connor? He just thumped it down trying to do a switch over to the right side from the left and ended up giving it away, and so here they come again. That's a mistake by O'Connor. Don't see that very often. Into the box. It's up there. O'Connor clears it away. Mendy over there to collect. So as he's going to go on a run, settles it down. That's impressive. 1,100 from Gillingham. I mean, nice that it's a Saturday game that gives them the opportunity to get all the way there. Bah. Maybe it's the curse of going from right to left because that was another giveaway. We're just not able to get through the midfield here. And so Gillingham applying the pressure and marching forward. If they're going to score early, because I'd like to put the fire in the belly of the boys, because it's lackadaisical. It's lazy out there right now. Nobody's pressuring the ball. OG now running all the way down the left-hand side by himself, continuing to run. Hayden steps out to take him out. 3 guys there, and it's going to be a nothing ball from him as it just rolls and Ogonkwo has it. Fortunately for us, a lot like Mansfield, threat going forward. Knock on wood. But you don't want to keep them hanging in a 1-goal game because they can always sneak an ugly one. Long ball from Ogonkwo, and they end up nicking it. Here they come again, and it's going to roll back to Ogonkwo, and he's just going to be able to have another thump down the field. A draw is a loss for Wrexham in this one. Yes, I think that's a fair comment. W&G, I'm curious if you're still there, if you can give an update on the Notts and the Mansfield game and the Stockport County game. Those are the 3 I'm interested in. I guess I could always bring it up myself. They've got enough time to figure out that phosphate issue, HG, that I'm not even worried about it. It was just really a nothing burger. It was just city staff sending out a trite letter when they should have just given some description to Savills. And then, to be fair, I think a reporter who got a little didn't know how to interpret what they were reading, and a mistake by Savills putting in a request when they shouldn't have been using that application. Anyways, a long ball forward. Can somebody get up there and support? Palmer has it. We're going to get a Tozer throw. Well done, earning that extra opportunity between Lee with the long ball and Palmer with the battle. Knott's doing nothing. Stockport still down. Loving it. They're saying on the broadcast it's too comfortable right now, and I agree. That's the problem that I've got. Is we're getting lulled to sleep here. Tozer, long throw in, headed away. Evans, nice little play by him, able to reach it out to Palmer. Williams goes and grabs it. Can he keep it in? He does. Williams, that's the type of energy player that you want, right? He goes down. Thanks, guys. He works his butt off all the way down the line, gets it to the touchline, gets an extra foot to the ball, clears it down, and now he's given his team an opportunity to reset. Long ball, Palmer couldn't get to it. Mendy, he's nicked it. We've got numbers. He's wide open. Run that thing all the way in. They come over. It's going to be cross far post. Palmer's there. Headed. Just away. Mass scramble on the far post. Brilliantly placed, it looked like, by Palmer. Mendy's got it on the left-hand side again. I'm liking the jump. Give me the jump. And to a corner. Let's go. A little bit of fun. A little bit of excitement. Turner's down. I don't know if he ended up taking a knock up against a pole, going to get that Palmer header. I don't know who it was, whether it was Turner that got to it or the defender, but it ends far post. Palmer heads it, going for the corner, and they're up there. And yeah, he may have collided with his defender going back. The defender screaming back, and Tucker has to reach up and swat it over top of the defender's head. Would that have been going in? It was certainly close. I think it would have. Yeah, I think it would have bounced off that post and in. So well placed. Maybe a little bit more height than it would have got there. But finally some love. And we don't get a corner? I missed that one. Well, the bookies, Kim, that I saw had him playing fourth, which I was a little bit surprised with, but they had a massive overhaul. They had like 6-7 new players, so people were really excited, and they came out like gangbusters, and people thought, oh, great, we went and got all these new players, and they're playing exceptionally well together, and then it just all went to crap. So you've got to call that, well, playing advantage. Mendy, left side. I think he's going to let that go now. In, we've got it in the middle of the box, puts it back out, hammered, hit a defender and rolled out. Yeah. So that was Jones sitting on the right side, probably about 10 feet just outside of the box, who hammered it, ends up going out of play. And we're going to get a right-footed in-swinger from the left side. I don't think that Gillingham's trying to be boring. They have absolutely nothing up front other than Williams busting his hump. Oh, that was Lee taking that far post. Deep, had it in. Oh, knocked down, but nobody's able to clear. It's just those little ones, and it goes to Williams, who's everywhere. Like, he is literally trying to strap the entire team on his back and carry them. Hayden with the defensive play, fending off. Who is that? 45, Bone, who's supposed to be their guy. He had nothing against Hayden. Stumble, trip, fall, gets stepped on, scrambly play, but a little bit of fun. 61st minute, I got 119 in the chat. Trouble. Ogonkwo, first shot on target of the match. Book it at the 62nd minute. I don't know if I like the pressure going, but that was Jeffries, was it? Coming all the way forward, or Clark? And no real answer for him as he gets it around on the left-hand side. And Ogonkwo, though, comfortable save. But another giveaway. Evans steals it back. Let's push forward. Gents, Lee with it. Palmer flicks it back out. Right-hand side here. Cross coming in. Masterson easily there. Evans, no, he was tempted to take that from distance, but instead he flicks it over to the right. Ford cross. It's there. Palmer, no, can't get up there. Just gets headed away just in time. So Mendy collects on the left. Let's just keep the pressure on. Into the box. Looking over, runs down to the touchline, crosses. It's there. Mendy nicks it back. Gonna call it offside. Whoo! Lots of action in the box right there. Could have got something better off of that one, I'm guessing. Who was that? Ford over on the right side, and I think he kind of back-heeled it coming across. If he would have been able... He was there. He had an opportunity to get that shot and just didn't get it around. Yeah, and so then it bounces free, and just because of where he clipped it, Mendy's offside. So not much to happen, but could have been certainly something. Subs coming in, not for us, but for Gillingham. Looks like they're taking Clark off. I'm hoping that they pick this thing up. I mean, I don't want to get to so exciting that Gillingham ends up taking one. I mean, if we snooze fest them to a 1-all win, am I happy with that? Sure. I'm just nervous that because they've given up a couple of opportunities. Yeah, thanks. I haven't scrolled up on that one. 11 shots to 5. They haven't got their one on target registered on FOTMob yet. 52%, 48% the possession. Gillingham has it now. Right side, lower third. We've got numbers back. Lee flicks it over and clears out. Palmer has it. Are we able to maintain possession? Somebody settle it down. Evans with a nice little spin to maintain possession, and we switch out right. Ford, that was a brilliant ball, actually, all the way up to Jones on the left-hand side, or sorry, right-hand side. Oh, a little bit of fire and brimstone here. Ford getting into it with, and I don't know who this is, and he's going to call people forward for the shake. I don't get why this was even a free kick, and now they need to have a talking to. Completely out of nowhere. Jeffries and Ford. Oh, Kim, why do you have to go and ruin it? Oh, gee, poor play. Rolls up over top. Jeffries, lots of space. Coming down. Clicks it forward. Oof. And it almost rolls back to him. So that was Hayden ended up making a tackle so that it didn't go through to the attacking forward. And as he does that, the ball rolls through, and Jeffries, who had passed it, it almost came back to him right on the edge of the area. But fortunately, we have it. We clear it, and now it's all the way in the midfield, and there's a foul the other way. Evans taking the foul. Are they getting a yellow for a push? Referee letting them play. Lots of this from a referee, which I've never seen. Oh, stop. Morning, Pack. Got a player down. Are they going to check on him? Fans are getting into it, so maybe a little bit of fire on the pitch brings it into the stands, and we can end up getting going here. Getting going. Gillingham with a little bit more possession. Palmer nutmegged himself. The pass was coming back, and he goes to try and make a play with it with his back heel and doesn't get there, and it rolls through his legs, and he kind of gives the, oh, man. Still Gillingham possession coming up towards the midfield stripe. Put forward. Just, you can see why they're the lowest scoring team. I mean, it's Williams running around, who has it now on the left-hand side, trying to almost will people forward to do something. He doesn't stopping his work rate, even away from the ball, trying to run through gaps, but it's going to go back, and they're going to send it all the way around and do a switch. Clemens on the right side now. Coleman back to him. That was a good one. They're going to get a cross into the box here. Tozer just lets it hit him in the shins, and away we go. Can we counter here? Palmer with it, left-hand side. Or is that Dalby? Dalby with it. Now that Palmer's got his hair cut, he looks like Dalby from a distance until I can see the back and see that it's an 18 instead of a 9. I got no idea what's going on. Possession for us as we're just lurking. Long ball over top. Oh, Mendy could get there. Can he get there? No. Oh, you can't call that. Mendy had possession, and the defender knew that he was ultimately going to lose it, and so he rolls into his back and ends up falling down. Like, he's got it, and this is just... Oh, that's... well, they drew it, so kudos to them. Francis, you beauty. 2-1. You can stay. You're allowed. Oh, nice little chip over top. Is Palmer going to get there? No. Right idea, though. Just needed to be a little bit softer to play forward to Palmer. But yeah, Mendy's just running. He doesn't take anybody out. Who is that? Masterson knows that he's in trouble, so he just reaches his arm over, tucks it, and flips himself over. I mean, risky, because if you don't get it, you're giving him the pathway. 69th minute. It's quiet. It's calm. It's like the moments before Christmas. You're waiting on Christmas magic and everybody's going to bed. You just cross your fingers that the Grinch doesn't show up and rip down your Christmas tree and make your kids cry. Williams hammers it. Ogonkwo, and I won't say hammers it, tried to hammer it and then chipped it off of the ground and it skipped its way to the goalkeeper. On things to do per trip advice. The alpaca farm. We can all go get spit on. Oh, flicked forward. I will say one thing that fascinates me about England is the tourism boards do an absolutely atrocious job. I mean, you look at the small little municipalities in Canada, some of them have nothing burgers to go and see. And they advertise to the point that you're like, yeah, this looks like a place I want to go and visit. There's so much history and so much interesting stuff. And then you have to dig so hard to find stuff. It's almost like Britain, England don't want you to visit. Sidebar, I'm going to get into tourist videos. Oh, right at the front of the box now. Evans with it. Left-hand side. He's looking. Gets it back. Forward. Is that forward? Over the center. Gets it across to Mendy. Mendy on the left side. Over to Evans. Moves forward. Evans gives it to him. They're just playing catch with it on the left-hand side here. Oh, flicked in and gives Mendy the opportunity to run into it. Well, nice ball. Scores! Holy cow! You absolute beauty, Tozer. That was Evans and Mendy. Evans, Mendy, and finally Evans gives him a ball and Mendy runs and gets onto it. Beautiful cross into the box and Tozer, whoo, baby, lulling us to sleep with that little lullaby interplay between the two of them. That was gorgeous, man. I thought, are they just going to go back and forth and play back and forth with each other? And what's going to happen here? And I was like, okay, he's going to go back to him. And he played it like it was just going to be a soft kick, but then gave it that little extra umph between the two defenders. And once he gave it that little extra umph between the two defenders, Andy just goes for it. Oh, man, they made them look stupid. They made them look stupid. That was Harlem Globetrotter, lull you to sleep, schoolyard educational level stuff on that one. Man, who was that? Number 38 for Gillingham's going to have to pick his trousers up and give him a clean because he just got absolutely thumped. Dieng. Timothy Dieng, the substitute who came in on the right side. Holy moly. I love it. I love it. Reward time. Hit that subscribe button if you're here. Man, that was gorgeous. That won't be goal of the year by any stretch, but as far as the build-up to goal of the year, if you were to give one for the best build-up, that's got to be it. That's got to be it. Scoreline, are you saying what happened before? It would have been Evans to Mendy, Evans to Mendy, Evans to Mendy, Evans to Mendy, Tozer. Gillingham, though, coming the other way. A little bit of a pushback here into the penalty area on the right-hand side. Flicked away. Kind of twisted over his own ankles there a little bit. And now here comes the cross. Far post. Nobody there. Hayden can get up. Hayden clears it away. Fortunate that took a while to rain down onto Williams' head. Hayden has the height. Able to get there and clear it up. Tozer for striker. I'm all for it. Had to get goals from everywhere, right? And that's what we've done. 2-0 good guys. 72nd minute. I'm always intrigued when people say scoreline. Well, maybe I guess people could may have the inability to see the screen for whatever reason. Gillingham chipped in, nobody there. Oh, wait a second. I thought O'Connor was going to clear that. Instead, Williams is able to get to it. I don't think he was expecting it and heads it away. And Ogonkwo makes the save and they get into a little unanticipated tangle up. Yeah, Badger strike. The Binley Mega Chippy. Maybe that's what I do during the off season is I make cheesy tourist videos using photos. Look at this computer shop. Like I know one of the things that's remembered staying, one of the things that frustrated me is Doncaster had an amazing museum in it where they were raising funds to keep Victoria Cross graves clean. And it was a museum that was unlike any other. They had ex-military that were working in it. They had all of their like actual stuff that they had on tours. They had you could go out. They were explaining things. It was an interactive display. It was in an old elementary school, and it was the best museum I've ever been to because of the nature of the interaction and dealing with people who were on the ground at the time, and it didn't survive COVID. And there were people in Doncaster. I was saying that thing is the best museum I've ever been to, and they didn't even know that it existed. And it's sad. It's gone. I don't know. I think routine is a thing, and people aren't tourists in their own backyards. The extra cheeky Nando's? What do you get at an extra cheeky Nando's? So we've got some more subs coming in. I didn't see if any were coming for us. Johnny Williams gets taken out for Tom Nicholas. That's good news, but that's... Excuse me. That's to be expected. The guy can't run forever. He's got to be human, right? Are the Welsh traditionally good marathoners? Because, I mean, he put in his minutes. He got his steps. Long throw. Gillingham. Oh, nice little ball. Can we go forward? Can we? Dalby, good little play with himself. Come on, you're allowed. Thank you for playing advantage, and the hand goes up. You're allowed a little bit of a tug and pull, but when you end up treating it like a 5-year-old Lee, I'll come back to this Lee across the board. It's across the face. Oh, it was right there, but nobody could get to it. It was like those kindergarten kids who first fall in love and they hold each other's hands forever, and that's what was going on with Dalby in the midfield. Gets it across to Lee, and he's running along the goal line, the end line, into the penalty area, and then finally pumps it forward, and it gets past the goalkeeper, but just nobody forward enough to be able to push that forward. No subs yet for Wrexham. No, check the shot clock as we go forward here. 12 shots to 7. And we've got a player down. Should have some extra time here. We've had a couple of people between OG doing his thing, forward here, people being down. Yeah, We do have to figure it out. I will. I guess if you have it, you don't have to sell it. Is that what we're saying? Oh, nutmeg, foul. Right on the edge of the area. Lee, that was impressive. And you know what? That was that one that should have been the red card last time against Mendy where he nutmegged and then got wiped out in the penalty area. This is the same thing. Forward plays it forward up to Lee. Lee ends up grabbing it here and then nutmegs number 2 and then the hip check comes out and he goes flying. So we're going to be 3 feet out on the edge of the penalty area on the right side. Tom O'Connor's going to sit there with the left foot. Give us an in-swinger. Maine, I think it is the state I need. Oh no, I've got Maine. Tom with the Movember mustache on full display. That's the first time they've zoomed in. That's impressive or unimpressive. I don't know what that is. Drilled in. Drilled in. Are we able to nick that back? Lee says, no, you don't. I'm going to take this one back. And he's dancing along the left-hand side. He's going to spin the other way, go the other. You're damn right you do, sir. And they're going to give it back to Evans. Lee, come on, score here. Holy Jesus. I would be embarrassed. Who's number 9 for Gillingham? Because it's getting into schoolyard, like, educational stuff. That's the new sub. Nichols came in and he just got danced like about 3 times. And then the same interplay that happened, Lee getting it over to Evans, gets it all the way down. But Lee just giving it to him. Here we go. Right footer. It's all the way out and it gets deflected away and away it goes. Now they've got numbers. Break on. Mendy's chasing him down. And he pulls it back. Fortunate. Now they've just got it at the midfield as we're setting ourselves up and all is calm. All is bright. Mushy peas is what happens with substandard dental care. Yeah, there's something there. There's something there. So I missed who's going to get the free kick here. Ogonko was going to take it. Friendly reminder, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, 1 o'clock in the morning for you in the UK and in the afternoon-ish. If you're in Australia, we're going to be doing that, the hot stove, where we're just going to chat about this game, chat about all things, and that's going to be us and 2 beards. What are you guys doing? Tucker should have grabbed that. Dolby was right there, and I thought, yeah, Tucker's lecturing everybody. He really should have came out and got that one and kind of left Dolby with an opportunity to go and get it. You're up 2-0. I mean, I can see at this point in time, sure, put McAlinden in because I don't think he's got enough of a run out. Oh, Stockport. That's not what we were looking for late in the game, was it? Swindon are good until they defend. Oh, got around Mendy there. Did Gillingham entered into the box, cleared away, and put right back on his feet. But Lee, doing what he does, just gets possession, and then Mendy gives it away. We are 10 minutes away. Start thinking man of the match. I don't know why they haven't been playing Davis. That's another guy maybe who gets out and comes up there. Snot still scoreless. Hey, Jed, it is a nice scoreline. You missed kind of a nothing game, to be fair. Do they have 1 shot on goal still? 2. Dolby on the chase. Dolby's got it right side. He pulls it back. He's going to wait for some support. Patient. All right, let's be patient. Moises Amaro from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. with the super like, with the donation there. I appreciate that. Not what it has ever expected, but super helpful and thankful for you. Palmer has it into the edge of the area. So thank you, Moises. I welcome that. I will obviously take those. I don't ask for them, but I'll give a shout out if they're given. Bigger and also just as important, hitting that subscribe button. We've got 128 people in here. It'd be amazing to get that up there. But Moises, yeah, really appreciative of that. Thank you. I just like being able to help you guys out, and the fact that I get to do a hobby and it throws in an extra $5 and I can buy a coffee. That's great. Which I won't be buying coffee with it. I want to buy some more toys for this whole setup we got going and advertise more and bring in more. I want more. Going to be a corner for us. Left-footed swinger coming. Tom, that's a dangerous one. It's still there. Punch missed. Hammered. That's got to be it. Was that a block? Did that hit a hand? Jones came running forward to smash that. That was horribly played by the goalkeeper and just ended up in a complete scramble. He went out to go and get the punch and missed it. And I think it's one of those things everybody was surprised. Gillingham with possession, 83rd minute. What do you guys think for the extra time? 6 minutes and then man of the match? What are we dealing with here? No, I was back of his legs. That was well blocked by the defender scrambling there. It was just one of these little overhand little flick punches. It was dangerous because it rolled right out to Jones, who was there to hammer it. Tunnicliffe coming in. Going to take out Hayden. Standing ovation. I don't see anybody standing on the video. Tozer for man of the match? Yeah. He's had a couple of nice plays. I think of the ball that he took off the shins to clear just in the right position. I mean, you can always give it to Lee. You could this if you had a second half man of the match, you might look at Evans, who's disappeared at the first half, but he was all over the place in the second. Offside. And so Ogonkwo's going to get it and be able to move the ball forward here. I'm trying to read these options that Francis came up with here. Stockport easily take first and we easily take third. I don't care if we win the championship. I just want promotion. So for me, if there's an opportunity, if you were to say you can get automatic promotion right now, but you're going to be the third place team, I'm like, take it. Let's move on and carry. Like, don't care. Yeah, Moises, I'm with you on that one. I'm excited to get to the race course. I'm still fingers crossed for April, but we shall see what happens. Headed away, and it's just playing ticky-tack back between a white jersey and a red jersey, back and forth here in the midfield. They come away with it and get it on back, and they push forward through the midfield and then play it on back. Yeah, I was just saying any day you could give it to Lee. He was a beaut. Palmer's been solid, to be fair, up front. I know he's just got the one goal, but he's had opportunities to nick the ball away quite frequently. I'm curious who FOTMob has for the man of the match. Tozer's at 8.3, Palmer's at 8.1. So you've got a goal from Tozer. That's probably what I do. You get a goal. You've been solid defensively, taking care of your responsibilities. How could you have a better game than he had? One shot against so far, while you're in control of the center of the back line. Does it have to? I don't know. I guess that'll be my vote. You tell me if there's somebody else other than Tozer. That's a good shout from John there. O'Connor, nice little step in, and he's going to go for a run down the left side. He's got people coming up for him. Is he going to run to a corner flag and just take time off? He pulls it back, and Lee has it. Everybody's walking. It's coming back to the halfway line. We're solid. This is a weird game. We're in control. The time's ticking, 87th minute. We're not desperately searching for something. We're punting it around in the back. Oh, taking a shot, but it's going to be offside. Lee, out of nowhere, decides to peel away, and Mendy goes up and shoots for it and throws it over. Hayden looked really solid. To be fair, everybody's looked solid today. A little bit more clinical would have been nice in the 11th hour, but Brendan thinks he was okay. I mean, he did nothing exceptional, but they have one shot. Some of that was because of their inability. Oh, 2 shots on target now. Sorry. So Lee gets the sub out, and I didn't see who was coming in. Jordan Davis. Gillingham now right side. Mendy taking him on, giving away. Davis, Lom, it's away. Palmer flicks it over to the right. If he would have went left, he had an opportunity, but instead he put it into OG's, and then he trips up his ankles. OG screaming for a yellow card as though they had space to be able to move forward. Friendly reminders, we're winding it down. Hit that subscribe button as we close things out. OG clips Palmer, no foul given. A little bit of an added war between the veteran and the young center back there. 22 years old as a center back. I know it's League Two, but and starting every game and having as much control. OG's had a bad game in places and some bad giveaways, but he's got all the tools, I think. And so my go-to coffee is whatever comes out of my my machine in the morning. I'm a drip coffee. Just give me the no-name stuff. A couple of sugars. Are we all the way up to 15 shots? I just checked it. Did they just update? They did. Holy moly. We are fortunate at the end of the day that penalty wasn't given in the first half for the Hayden handball. Ball's going to be free. We're 20 seconds away from learning about what we've got. Wiped us out. We're going to get a free kick, taking our time, and we'll. That was O'Connor who just ended up getting cleared out. And I don't think they're giving a card, but he's coming to talk to the lines, to the touchy. 3 minutes. That's a lot less than I thought it was going to be. But I guess in a 2-0 game, you take it. You know what? Kudos to the referee for this one. He's been pretty fair. He's let them play. Hasn't early on. He waved off the early flops, and when that happens, people don't flop. So it was good stuff there. They're debating about how flat the game was, and Mark says we'd finally dominated a game. Just take it on for once. Long ball, headed away. A minute through the 3 minutes, and Gillingham player falls, gives it away. Jones, are we going to go for one here? Dalby gets it across midfield. 40 sitting there. It looks like there's some desire to bring the enterprising play forward. Dalby danced through 2-3 guys, comes out. He's getting swarmed at. He just says, you know what? Mendy, left side. What is going on? Played into the middle. Oh, there's a little touch from Dalby. Over. Quietest game of the year, but we will take it. We will take the 3 points any opportunity you have them. We're going to have a whole week off here in between games. That's madness. Madness. Other than the women's match, we're in the cup competition. I believe it tomorrow, and I'm going to have to check the start time and figure all that out and hope to get on there. Dalby man of the match. Is that who you're going with, Dave? I see more Tozer than Dalby. It's going to be nice here with the schedule hopefully coming up and rest, this war of attrition that seems to be League Two. I know you get injuries and knocks in the National League, but it seems to be more frequent here. I hope you're right, Kim. I'll take that draw. Like to see Swindon get something late as we're 20 seconds away here. They're going to get a corner from the left side, and they're not even... I mean, there's no appetite for them to run and take this. Like, if I'm the ref and it gets to 3 minutes, I'm just going to blow it down because it's a slow jog. There's no hunger. Man, if I was a Gillingham fan, I would be pissed right now. Pissed. Like, not a care. I travel 4.5 hours for you guys to just do a short ball to end the game. I know it's 2-0, but have a little bit of fire in the belly. Headed away. It's over. Put 3 points into the table. We've taken away the win. That's good stuff. I'm happy. Turn our attention over to the scoreboard for a little bit and see what ends up all ticking by. Upcoming game, Accrington Stanley. Going to be next for us, I believe. And then Morecambe, which I wonder how... I didn't get an update on how they're doing today because they're sort of coming out of nowhere. Oh, ouch. A 3-2. They're down to Grimsby Town because they were on quite a bit of a run. So we're sitting second, still not going to gain any time on Stockport or any minutes on... any points on Stockport, it seems. Mansfield 1 point behind with a game in hand. But maybe, just maybe, with a Crew and Knott's draw, start to get that distance between the top three and the automatic qualifiers and the rest. That certainly would be nice. Don't want to look ahead, but I believe Knott still has some challenging games coming up for them here. And they've got, they got Bradford City, which is a wild card, Wimbledon, Crawley, Walsall's not that bad, but then they've got their Stockport match down on the 22nd. So they've got some competition. Yeah, Stockport. You kind of knew it had to happen. They're too solid. Mansfield, would be nice to take a point away from somebody, but the fact that you got the draw between Crawley and Notts was the big deal for me because that keeps both of them down. John, you're welcome. Hey, if you guys like this, I'm super thankful. We still got 119 people here. I'm happy to stay for a little bit longer and just kind of chat while the score rolls down. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't had the chance to do it. Likes also work. We're going to be here hopefully tomorrow, 5 o'clock p.m. with the Australians, Adrian and Rousey from Two Beards. We'll have 3 beards, all kind of ginger as rage is happening outside of the doors here. That was a great day. Comfortable, confident, controlled, score early. We just pulled them out of the game, took them out of it. And that was awesome. That play from Mendy and Evans leading up to Tozer with the goal, that was beautiful. The little right footer around him, and they slept him. And so, this wasn't a freebie. Gillingham came in looking solid. So what is that now? We're 10 in a row amongst all competition. 3 wins in a row in the league. I think that makes it 8 in a row with a goal. I mean, there's lots of good things happening. You guys are welcome for the stream. I appreciate everybody. I do, if I can get the Women's Cup, if it's free on iFollow, I will be there. You know what? Let's just check that out because I know exactly where to find that if it is going to be available and get the time. And we can figure that out and make sure that I'm going to be able to do it while we're here. Subject to, of course, my wonderful wife saying, no, you're not doing that. Matches, women. Next match is going to be in 21 hours, a 2 p.m. UK kickoff. It will be live, free, and also at the Rock if you're in Wrexham. Landudno. That's who it's going to be. I haven't looked up how to pronounce that one. I'm going to have to figure it out before, but it should be. It is there at 20. Have a wonderful one, Carolyn. Thanks so much, Moises. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for the donation and for the for joining the watch party. Appreciate it. For everybody, before you leave, subscribe button's always right there for you. Just trying to get back to the scoreboard to watch, see as all of these end up wrapping up and see where the table ends up. Everybody else has had lots of extra time in their games. Not us. 3 minutes and a masterful control. I appreciate it, Peter. Got to have some phlegm in the mouth to pronounce it. Well, I can do that right now with the fight in the cold. Double the L means so Clandidlo or Clandil? No, I don't even want to say the other one. I will practice. I will pull up the YouTube channel. The joys of the Welsh stuff is it's all new. Stockport still in control. Mansfield 5 minutes. They're still in control. Did we get to the final in Notts? 6 minutes of extra time. Still waiting for that one to tick in. Aussies is today. Today at 5. Today in North America for us, John. 5 p.m. for me. 8 p.m. for you guys out east. In Wrexham, it's going to be a 1 o'clock Sunday. In Australia, it's going to be morning, noon, depending on where you are in Australia. So it should be a good time. Got a couple others that are getting lined up, just timing and all that sort of stuff. But it's kind of nice. And if it allows people, if you don't have a podcast, it's on Spotify. I've now updated it to Apple, Google Podcasts. There's a couple of Radio Public. So you can do that. Because he cramped up. Yeah. I'm shortening it up. 3 minutes seems about fair. There was, well, I mean, maybe not. They had the one goal. Ogie was down for a while. They had a couple other extra players. So still waiting it to go. Full time today, Newport County MK Dons on a 0-0 snooze fest. I do want to bring up the Knots just to see, like, was it just another run of possession and no action, no love? It says they're in the 7th minute of extra time. So one of those ones. There's 3 games that'll be fun to watch the highlights. I think that's the nice thing about Salford and Mansfield, Crewe and Notts, Swindon and Stockport is those were all games that were competitive and into it and could have been ones that points were taken. So that'll be fun to watch the highlights. Grizz, I appreciate you being here again. I didn't actually hear from you that much during the thing. Did I just miss your name? And Patrick, yeah, enjoy the work. See you next week. Victory poutine for everybody. Hit it. Whatever beers you want to while you're at it. Have a good one, John. I'll catch you around. Oh, it's a beautiful day. I love Wrexham wins. They just make the weekend so much more enjoyable. Have a wonderful, I think we're going to try and get to a Remembrance Day ceremony for the kids. Just a local one and see how that goes. Maybe grab a bevy after that. So I hope you've been able to enjoy the 11th wherever you are. I'm still waiting to see these full-time scores come in just because I want to be able to see where the table ends up before I run out. Colchester Sutton 1-1 as a final. Grimsby does take out Morecambe, which Morecambe has games in hand, so they could have snuck up. So that's a hand up from Grimsby. And credit to them. Thank you very much. We'll keep you in our thoughts. So the Notts game, 57-43, so not much there. 3 shots to 2. It looks like a fairly even match, but just not a lot of love. Still got 64 of you. I'm surprised that you guys are all holding on like I am, waiting for this. Good day, Georges. even though you're from Wales, I feel like I'm going to have to get the Aussie stuff going on. If you guys are up in Wales in the UK and you've had your bevy or two or five or six and you're bored at 1 o'clock sitting in the pub and you want to bring up and start to spam us, well, not spam us, but throw us some questions, we'll be there to answer. We'll see how it goes. I'm looking forward to it. I enjoy getting to know other fans, and at some points in time, once we get some content creators, maybe it's the mob, and we pull a couple of people if anybody's interested from the watch party and joining and just chatting football, sharing faces and stories, that sort of thing. Man, 10th minute of extra time. So the Mansfield game is over, 2-1. They're going to keep their 3 points, 1 point behind, but with a game at hand. Barrow looks like they're going to wipe out Bradford City, which is comical, and I love it. The suffering of Bradford City brings me a lot of joy. It's like a new SAMR, chirpy expletives in Bradford. And I'm calling it Bradford and not Bradford City intentionally, because that was a whole unnecessary debate. I was like deductive logic. The ref is injured. I'm glad you got the opportunity to do that. I'm enjoying this whole process of waking up in the morning, having an early coffee. One of these times I'm going to have to bring the kid in and let him have a crack at it just to see how it goes. But I appreciate it. I do still suggest if anybody ever gets, I know times are tight and people have funds wherever they have funds, but being able to watch the game is always something. So iFollow's certainly there for you. I am not a fan of the mornings typically myself, but I don't have a choice when you end up having little buggers running around as cute as they are. It's a thing. So that game's still going on. The Knots game's still going on. Stockport's finalized, so they're still 5 points up. Yeah, that was the Morecambe one was a helpful out of nowhere sort of take. I thought Grimsby had started well and then fallen off, and I was like, are they in threat of relegation with where their performances have been? And they found a way. They found a way. Bradford getting down there. Man, I would love, like, can you imagine if Bradford falls out of the EFL? Does the thought of that bring everybody as much joy as it brings us? Potential banana peel. I mean, we should be in control in that one. I think it was the perfect draw for us. You get a home game against a team that's in a lower division. Yeovil's having an exceptional season. I think they only have 2 losses. The second goal, so Palmer with the first one. The second one was Tozer with the header. It was a beautiful goal. Mostly because of the lead up. Mendy and Evans were playing catch on the left side, just back and forth, sleeping me and the defenders, because I was like, are they really going to go back to one more time before the switch? And then Evans got the right foot and kind of flicked it to Mendy, who was doing an end around, grabbed it and pumped it forward to Tozer, and Tozer headed it. Francis wants FGR to be relegated. See, I have no love or hatred for FGR, so that sounds like you've got a vendetta that goes back, and now I'm curious what it is. The other half takes the mornings. Yeah, I'm spoiled in that regard too, as my wife is out there battling with them, and I'm sitting here chatting to my computer screen because I'm waiting to see if this Notts County game will get wrapped up. I may end up having to call it if it's injury, and I'm not going to have to deal with it. So you're welcome, Alex. It's worth watching, and if you don't get to see the length and duration of the interplay back and forth, go and watch the full highlights if they're made available, the full game, because it felt like 30 seconds of them just pit pat, tic tac, moving the ball back and forth before they decided to roll with it. It was perfectly scripted. Would have made great for a Hollywood documentary. It was well done. You're joking. That is, I see it just pop up. 1-0 Crew after a long extended await. What the hell? Take it. What? Baker Richardson on a penalty. Now, was that the original referee, or did they have a referee substitution? Under the team names. Yeah, the problem is, Alex, well, I guess I can do it with a text thing. I'll have to see if I can get it designed pretty enough. I can't really do it with the graphics unless I have a producer, like somebody who makes it and then sends it over to me and I can put it in. Knots. Crew is playing Knots. So Crew just went up 1-0 on a 98th minute penalty after the referee got injured and was out. I don't know if it was the same referee who got up. I don't know if the penalty was called before the injury or after the injury. Crew, out of nowhere. Bonkers. I mean, I will take that one. Sitting here watching to see if it gets to full time. And top 3 teams go up automatically, and then the teams 4 through 7 have a 4-team qualifier such that 4 plays 7, 5 plays 6. Goals differential is the first tiebreaker, then goals for. Unfortunately, in this North American ways, we like to have it. How did you perform against the other team? That's a subsequent tiebreaker. So it's goal differential and then goals for. Usually doesn't get past that, to be completely fair. But it is a fascinating outcome because if Crew takes the 3 points, they move up into 4th, and Knots falls all the way down to 5th. And they've still got some games to come in this last half of the season for them. I kind of was hoping more for a draw, to be fair, because it would have kept both teams down. You don't like to give away 3 points in a game against competition that's up around you on the table if you can only give away 2. But at the same time, to watch Crew come up, who I think is a weaker squad than the Knots, I'm okay with it if it has to be anybody. Barrow sneaking up there as well, sitting in 6th. It's interesting. You're starting to see that split. I think that divide, are we going to be able to assert ourselves here over the next couple of games? We've got Accrington Stanley, who's sitting at 8th. If you're able to get a win there, 3 points up from them, who are fighting out in the playoff spot. I'm hoping we can end up securing a different distance between the top 3 and those playoff teams, because I don't care if we win the championship or not. Although it'd be nice to have that final game mean something, in the set, but being secure, right? Stockport, Wrexham, both getting promotion, but maybe fighting for the championship, and so make a crack of it and have a game. That sounds like a good time for me. If we could Hollywood script this thing, I don't know. I think I might end up having to take the break. So. 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern time, 1 a.m. Sunday morning, and morning to noon in Australia. Yeah, 7th place is 6 points behind us, with a game in hand. But I'm more interested in watching that 4th place spot. I mean, anything can really change. You end up pulling what Gillingham has done, and they've fallen off the map, right? Came out, they were first place for up through to week 8, right? First 4 weeks, and then week 7, week 8, and then dropped completely off, and now they're sitting 10th, and they're in a free fall. It just didn't look good. And so you expect everybody to have a setback at some point in time, and you hope it's not too long. Bradford's into their second one. They've tough out the gate, and then they built it back up, and then they've brought in a new manager. They're tough out the gate again. They're really struggling right now. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I think Sutton United deserves a better fate based on the quality of the team that we saw. So I'm hoping they're able to pull themselves up. Who falls back down there? Well, FGR, if Francis wants it. Tranmere, it would tickle my fancy for Bradford to fall down there. Yeah, it's 108. I'm getting to the point where I can't hang out here anymore. I'm going to go get into trouble. So I'm going to have to wrap this up. I'll be back at 5 my time to be able to do that thing. Thank you so much for the 43 of you who are actually still here listening. I suspect you guys are all KG veterans, or you've just walked away from the computer a long time ago. But feel free to go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so. I've enjoyed it. It's been a fun one. We were in the championship for 5 years. Now this is the trivia question. You're welcome, pal. I appreciate it. That was in the 70s, late 70s, which was our glory days, I guess is what you would call it. 78, 79, it was 4 seasons. We were promoted in 77, 78, winning on 78 points. And then we finished 15th, 16th, 16th, and then in 1981-82 finished 21st and got relegated. So, yeah, 20 minutes. Hey, Tattoo, I'm not educated enough on it either. I've had to go and start to learn all of this sort of stuff because I wanted to get into it, right? I wanted to know more than just who the players are and figuring it out. So the reason why I put those little who are you videos is as much for me as it is for anybody else. I want to know, what player do I need to look for? Where's this team strong at? Where are they weak at? How is it going to line up? And so that's the whole purpose. And it seems to help out some people, and even the Wrexhamites are getting into it and enjoying things. So anyway, I'm going to say goodbye. We'll see you guys at 5, hopefully 8, 1, noon, wherever you are. Much love and happiness, and enjoy your Remembrance Day. And thanks so much. Okay, take care.